to everyone. Let's turn our attention to this game here, the first one of this season, BBL 2 in Perth, and it's the Perth Scorchers taking on the Adelaide Strikers. And I can inform everyone that the Perth Scorchers, the captain Simon Kadich has won the toss and he's elected to bat first. One of the main reasons probably is that the last 12 games here, the team batting first has won 10 of those. So the Furnace has certainly lived up to its reputation here today in Perth. 34, 35 degrees Celsius as we speak. So quite a warm night here. Everyone out on the hill waiting in anticipation for the start of this game. Two very good teams, of course. The Perth Scorchers played in the final last year here in Perth, went down to the Sydney Sixers. The Adelaide Strikers, I think, are a good outfit in this competition. I should say. Philip Hughes back into the test team, and Johan Botha, the skipper, with a hat backwards, if you don't mind. And it's a very good welcome to Damien Fleming and Tom Moody. Welcome, boys.
Yes, Bluey. Good toss, Simon Kadich. Plenty of experience in the Scorchers batting lineup. Herschel Gibbs, Sean Marsh, Michael Hussey, Adam Bogus, Simon Kadich himself at number 5. So plenty of runs, plenty of experience. And for this young Strikers bowling lineup, Richardson opening up. We know he'll enjoy bowling at the Wacker Moods. He's got a nice high release, not dissimilar to yourself.
Oh, you've started early, haven't you? Yeah, good evening, everyone. Yeah, look, there's a couple that I'm interested in seeing in that Strikers outfit with ball in hand. Gary Putland, been in terrific form. Left armer, can swing the ball both ways. Also specialises at the death. So at the closing of the innings, he gets it right up into that block hole. And Sajid Ajmal, the Pakistani that's been brought in, what a brilliant performer he is. Turns the ball both ways. He has had international players all over the world puzzled with what he does. So they've got a good side.
Yeah, Sajid Ajmal just playing the one game for the Strikers this year. So he's flown all the way out here. Firstly to Adelaide, play a couple of practice matches, and then over here to Perth. And here come the two opening batsmen for the Perth Scorchers. Sean Marsh, what's he got up his sleeve? Because he's been in horrible form, it's got to be said, but he's an excellent T20 player. And Herschel Gibbs was so good last season for the Perth Scorchers. Not so good in the Champions League recently over in South Africa. They had their troubles over there. They had a bit of a fallout once they got back. Coach went, the captain went. So, interesting to see what team turns up tonight.
Well, it's going to be interesting with Sean Marsh, because last year when he played against the Renegades in Melbourne, he got 99 and he was in poor form then. And he was also coming back from some injury issues. Came out and blitzed it. He batted superbly well. We all know what he's capable of doing, but can he bring it to the table here tonight? He loves batting at the Wacker. He's a dangerous player here. He's got hundreds here in this form of the game at this venue, so he's been there and done it.
And Herschel Gibbs last year, there the stats, he was right up there in the top run scorers in the Big Bash League. 302 runs, it's the strike rate, 152. Opening up, hits a boundary every 4 balls. So he's such a dangerous player, and Richardson will have to be right on line starting up, and we know he'll look to shape the ball away from the left-handed Sean Marsh.
Yeah, he's a good performer, Kane Richardson. Having a good season. Took a bit of a bag fall in one of the Ryobi games in Adelaide, so his confidence is high. Good all round. I've actually batted 3 in a Shield game down in Hobart, which surprised a few people, but certainly with the ball, he's a talent. One slip in place, and we are good to go. Oh, just pulled away there, Sean Marsh, because the announcer here at the ground was still talking as he was just about to release the ball.
Does he know there's commentators here? Is he trying to take our jobs? And quite rightly, Sean Marsh had to pull away because Richardson was in his last takeoff step. So a little bit of action early, Moods.
Yeah, well, we've got the trots just next door. Maybe he thought he was calling the horses.
There's a wide one, and it's straight to Philip Hughes at cover.
Well, the wicket looks an absolute belter, and I don't think it's going to change throughout the whole innings. Only 40 overs obviously on play this evening. One thing the players will have to deal with is the shadow, and that will pass pretty quickly, but never easy when you're either bowling in sunshine and batting in the shade or the other way around. Shaun Marsh is in the bright sunshine there as the sun's setting here in the west.
Well, and there's that shape. It's short of a length, probably a little bit too short, but even that ball moved away from the left-hander.
Well, as the Australians and South Africans found out during the test match, it's just more extreme bounce than any other pitch in Australia here at the WACA. But if you don't bowl well and you give width, the batsman can get full value for shots, and it's a very quick outfield again tonight.
Short again, and he had a big push at that, Shaun Marsh, and it's been called a wide.
I reckon Richardson's just a tad unlucky there. That was a real free hit for Marsh. It was out there, it was wide. I didn't think it was that wide. He connected. It's only a short boundary to backward point from where he's hitting it from. It would have gone all the way for 6.
There's some swing in the air, no doubt about it. Oh, and he's hit him on the thigh on occasion, a little bit fuller.
What I like there is he's adjusted his line. He wants to maximise this new ball the Knicks are going to carry here at the WACA. There is a little bit of swing, so he can't afford to be too short or wide.
The margin of error is always very tight here with a quick outfield, with pace off the wicket as well. The ball really climbs into the bat, whether it's full of length or short, so you can get punished as a bowler if you're slightly off line or length.
Oh, another play to miss. Look at the carry. That's head high through to Tim Ludeman. Average score batting here at the WACA, 173 batting first, so about on par with a lot of the other ovals around the country. That is excellent carry.
Moochie played probably 15 years at the WACA. How hard is it judging how far you've got to be back for the Knicks?
Oh, you can stand back as far as you like.
Off the bat, first run off the bat. Shaun Marsh is away with a couple off his hip.
Yeah, Flem, it's one of the better places to stand behind the wicket. You know, whether you, see, I've done the keeping role, but certainly it's slip because you know the ball's always going to carry. Very different when you're at the striker's home at the Adelaide Oval, where you know the ball's going to come around about shin height or ankle height. Here at the WACA, generally Knicks will always come around waist height.
Well, that's the best delivery of the over. And first over is completed, none for 3. So a wide in that over. Not a bad start there for Richardson. Just confirmation of the teams here tonight. Herschel Gibbs hasn't faced the ball yet. He's out there with Shaun Marsh. Mike Hussey before he goes through to Hobart for the test match. Voges, Kadich, Triffett, Coulton Isle, Beer, Hogg, Menny and Evanson. No Marcus North tonight for the Perth Scorchers, and the strikers Klinger, Hughes, Ferguson, Reardon at 4, Botha, Doropoulos, Ludeman, Richardson, Putland, Ajmal in for his only game, and Nathan Lyon due to come in at number 11. But he's not going to be a number 11 bowling change because he's going to open. A tactic often used by the strikers and other teams in the competition. But the strikers have really built their shorter form of the game around their spin bowlers.
Only 2 allowed back in the first 6 overs, and deep mid-on is back for Gibbs, and deep, say, just in front of square. He's about 5 metres in front of square.
It's not a bad delivery. Herschel Gibbs is off the mark with a single.
He had plenty of bowling here, Nathan Lyon, in the test, particularly in the second innings, so you'd imagine that he's well and truly in the groove, and we know that spinners can get a little bit of drift here at the WACA, and there's always going to be substantial bounce.
It's also going to be interesting to see how he adjusts, because you know the pace he bowls in Test cricket is going to be very different to his pace here in T20 cricket.
Well, he floats that up and it turns. So Shaun Marsh looking to hit the ball on the up through the offside. Fortunately, he didn't get a nick there. going a little bit quicker, that one. Straight to the field.
Yeah, that's the line laneway there. He doesn't need to adjust from that length and line, forcing Marsh to come forward, even hitting on the up. He's got plenty of fieldsmen on the offside.
Oh, that was a quicker delivery too. That was almost seam up. Probably swung a little bit too.
It darted in to Marsh's pads, and a good run. Herschel Gibbs calling Marsh through very quickly. There's a quicker arm ball, so showing all of the variety in the first 6 balls here, Nathan Lyon.
Yeah, slip coming out for the last ball. He's good through the offside, Herschel Gibbs. Fires it down the leg side. Oh, mix up. Oh, I tell you what, looked like the bails actually came up. There was some sort of wide's call by Blocker Wilson, but the bails, I don't think, came off.
The Zing bails, they're going to light up when they're dislodged, but on that occasion, they didn't go. I mean, that hit pretty hard, didn't it?
There was no zing. For sure, it definitely clipped the stump. Herschel Gibbs, I tell you what, he's just in. We've been zinged up by the stump, but what's happened to the bails?
Well, they might have just sort of come up a little bit and went back into the groove. But
Which is not out.
that's right, the bails have got to come off. So, no doubt, it's going to stay out there. Not sure why they even look, because once the bails are still on, the decision's made.
Tell you what, that's amazing.
Over mid-off, trying to get back. He hasn't got it terribly well and just get the single in the end. So a bit of a close shave there for Herschel Gibbs. 2 overs completed, none for 7.
Well, it's been an excellent start by the Strikers. Let's have a look at this wicket here. It's a beautifully hard wicket here, and the whacker's got a nice covering of fine grass. So that will enable the ball to really carry through, particularly when the ball's new. Don't see there being a lot of turn. There will be bounce, which we've seen. So both seamers and spinners will enjoy the extra bounce, but you'd have to say, guys, that's a good batting strip.
Well, Damien Fleming was out there for the toss of the coin, so had a good look at it. Oh, where's that hit him? He's tried to just leave that, and it's just darted back in.
Great pace and bounce, and that angle in. Gibbs probably hasn't faced Richardson on too many occasions. See that back foot just going towards square leg, trying to open up that offside, but with the angle in, Richardson combating that. That's good bounce.
Oh, that's pretty well done by Ludeman, actually. Took a lot of pace off that. And they'll pick up one extra one. It's called a wide. Herschel Gibbs is all over the shop here.
I think Richardson felt like he might have just slipped a little bit at the crease. A lot of fast bowlers come here, moves, they get excited by the pace and bounce. I think Richardson might be just trying to bowl too quick at this stage. He's falling away in his action. That's why the ball's going down the leg side.
That's a great effort from Ludeman. Edged, and it's gone to third man. Gary Putland down there cleaning up.
It's not easy batting conditions. You know, we've seen the ball move in the air. We've seen some extra bounce and a little bit of sidewards movement off the seam. Not a lot there off the seam, but there's plenty of the other stuff. Sean Marsh looking to hit the ball hard again. I think both players could do with just getting an over or two under their belt, just getting familiar with the bounce and the pace of this track.
Well, it's been a good start from the Strikers. He's mowed that into mid-wicket. Hand coming off the handle. Pick up a couple.
You don't see a lot of that in the coaching manual. That is just a slog.
Just expanding on that, you know, you probably think just soaking up 6 balls and playing correctly at this stage of the innings, you can't afford to do it. But that time invested now will only pay dividends towards the back end of the innings, where you've got yourself in and you can really collect big numbers towards the end.
But the trouble with T20, it's hard to get into a rhythm against one type of bowler, isn't it? They've only got 4 overs, so you'd imagine this will be Richardson's last over.
Oh, that's well bowled, but it's even better played. Just wide a short fine leg, and he picks up a boundary.
Oh, he's an excitement machine, Herschel Gibbs. He's already moving around the crease and sometimes looking through the offside. On this occasion, moving across the crease. Beautifully leg-lanced. 4 runs. It is so fast, this outfield at the Wacker.
Well, not a conventional shot, but I tell you what, it takes a lot of skill to be able to execute that well. Herschel Gibbs not only been a wonderful cricketer over a long period of time, but he's a multi-skilled sportsman.
Straight to Theo Geropoulos at cover. Oh, good pace here, 142. It's Theo Geropoulos. He had a bit of time with him, Moods, over here in the West.
Yeah, he's from Western Australia. Scarborough Cricket Club is his original home, but he's head over to Melbourne, Victoria, to play club cricket and find his way there, but he's been a striker.
Oh, that's well hit. That's the first one of the night, courtesy of Herschel Gibbs.
Great connection from Herschel Gibbs. You know he strikes so quickly. 150 is his strike rate. And it's short, it's coming in. Gibbs just rocking back on that back foot, rolling the wrists. A crowd catch, the first for the night, not taken.
Very little margin of error. That was just short. Gibbs is jumping onto it very quickly. It's only a short boundary, hitting towards the eastern part of the ground, which is with the sea breeze. Right up onto the bank, so it's a good shot.
Down.
Straight to the fielder. Actually don't often see this in T20. Same bowlers used in the first 4 overs.
I'm keen to see Gary Putland with this new ball. Wanted to see him swing it around. Took 12 wickets against the Bushrangers in a Shield game a couple of weeks ago. Backed it up with 4 in the Ryobi Cup. So 16 wickets in 1 week, and we know he's a legitimate swinger. He'll enjoy bowling at the Wacker.
Just let that go, I think, Herschel Gibbs. Just wait on the umpire. Paul Wilson signals wide.
Talking about the swingers, it's unique to see 3 spinners playing, isn't it? Both Ajmal and Nathan Lyon in a T20 game.
Slower and well stopped. That was well hit from Sean Marsh, and Theo Geropoulos diving away to his left just took a bit of heat off the ball, so save 1.
Bit of relay work with the captain out there, Johan Botha. The Geropoulos yet. Good hand on this. Hit very firmly by Marsh. Every single run can count.
Down the track and straight to him. So more of an inside edge, you'd probably think, from Herschel Gibbs, and he holds out to Kane Richardson. First wicket down.
Well, he has been risky. He's hit some good shots, Herschel Gibbs. On that occasion, good flight from Nathan Lyon. He was not balanced as he played that shot, and Richardson taking an easy catch. So spin being the undoing of Herschel Gibbs. He can't believe it. And the strikers, a lot of elation. Might have just copped something on the way through there, Herschel Gibbs. But he's back to the dressing rooms. 9 for 14, and the Scorchers are 1 for 28.
Here he is, Mr. Cricket, Michael Hussey. He's already scored a couple of Test centuries this summer, and he gets his opportunity at home here for the Perth Scorchers. Some nice shape on it, Lyon. He's mixing them up, which you need to do in T20 cricket, but just his normal stock deliveries, getting nice shape and a little bit of turn. That's a bit of a scrambled seam, or even seam up. Didn't try and turn that one, but Hussey's off the mark with a couple down the mid-off.
Well, two left-handers at the crease. Just wonder whether Simon Kadich consider bringing in the right-handed Adam Voges at number 3. The fall of the wicket of the right-handed Gibbs. Lovely delivery, slow and just drifting at leg side. Gibbs looking to go over mid-wicket and getting a thick inside edge. Bet you he thought of a couple of ways he could get out today, but I don't think that one would have crossed his mind.
Well, there's not a lot of room for error when you're bowling to Herschel Gibbs because he's so good. He's inside out and can easily hit the spinner away over cover. So Lyon was trying to get it in that sort of line to Herschel Gibbs around about middle and leg stump, and he got his man. Yeah, Herschel thought he might have got a little bit of lip on the way off. Here's Ajmal, his first ball, and it might go to the boundary. How quick is this outfield? Oh.
Not sure if Ajmal's bowled at the whacker before. Not a bad first ball introduction.
Rolled on a few dry surfaces in Lahore, but I don't think the outfield's been this quick. Marsh just leaning on that, finding the gap, but there's no chance. That just got quicker.
He's just playing the one game, Ajmal, and a couple of the other franchises, when they heard that the Pakistan players were only allowed to play the one game, they sort of didn't bother signing them. I'd imagine that maybe if he does play this game, then he can play if the strikers go through the Champions League and he qualifies. Maybe part of the reason why we're seeing him over here.
I reckon it's great that he's here. You know, he's been the leading bowler really in the world over the past 12 months, nearly 24 months. We don't see a lot of Pakistan here on Australian soil, and have the opportunity to watch him bowl, look at his magic, and as you quite rightly mentioned, Bluey, it's an investment. You know, the strikers get through, they've got one of the best on their list.
No, he might be the #1 rated bowler in one-day cricket in the world, Ajmal. He's got a very good record against Australia. Oh, inside edge for Mr. Cricket. It's down the other end.
It's been a good start here, good contest between bat and ball. Chips it in to the onside for a single, so end of that over. It's 1 for 37 after 5. And Shaw Marsh is out there. He's moved on to 14 of 18 deliveries, but look at one of his innings from last year against the Renegades. He made 99, so this is what he can do when he's in terrific form.
Yeah, and this led to his test selection as well, and he didn't get too many in the test, but bang, look at that one. That's gone miles back. And again, Sean Tate, he just opened up through the offside and straight down the ground. And it was a match-winning 99 not out, and there's probably the innings of the tournament for me. And he's got genuine power, but the way he caresses the ball through mid-wicket or opens up the face through the covers is such a feature, and he's too good a player to be scoring all the lack of runs he's had so far this year. Actually found himself out of the Western Australian team, so let's hope the Big Bash can reignite his career. A lot of talent.
So both are into the attack. The skipper is playing full-time here now in Australia.
Down, down, down!
Well, Nathan Lyon diving away to his left, couldn't restrict the single. So many spinning options in this striker's outfit.
Johan Botha is a lot of experience. He's been brought down the South Australians to captain not only their Shield campaign but their Big Bash campaign as well. He's seen as a good leader, astute leader. He's a clever bowler. Probably, I could say, this smarter in one-day cricket than four-day cricket. You certainly You know, his strike rate in 4-day cricket isn't anywhere near as good as what it is in 1-day cricket.
Down, down.
I'm actually surprised Gary Putland didn't bowl this over from that end, you know, to use his new ball swing. We know he's actually a great death bowler, so maybe he'll bowl majorities overs at the end.
Oh, yeah, Bo.
Yorker there from both feet. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised too from him because we saw Richardson really swinging the ball. So favourable conditions for the swing bowlers, and Putland, you know, bowling to a couple of left-handers out there. Plays a good chance of getting a nick, but they've gone with spin. Obviously the spinners turning it away from the left-handers as well. Well, there's the reverse one from Michael Hussey. No run though. End of that over. 6 overs gone. 1 for 40.
So the power play is now finished for the Scorchers. They're 1 for 40. And we saw Herschel Gibbs be innovative, move around the crease. That was a beautiful 6 over square leg. But he got caught by some clever bowling from Nathan Lyon, just getting a bit of drop, a little bit of turn as well. And this was first ball for Matchmel. What about the timing from Sean Marsh? So plenty of highlights with the bat and ball. Not a lot of sixes, but I imagine there'll be a lot more runs in the last 10 overs here at the Wacker when that white ball gets a bit softer.
Well, we are going to see Gary Putland now. So Ajmal just the 1 over from him. And we're going to see the informed Gary Putland. Probably a little bit quicker than a lot of people think as well. Probably see him up around about high 130s, maybe low 140s. See if there's any swing with his first delivery. No. It's angled into the pads. We've done a fair bit of coaching moods. If you're sitting up into the rooms, who are you giving that first 6 overs to of this match? 1 for 40?
Yeah, look, I'd be pretty happy if I was in the Scorchers position. You haven't lost too many wickets, just the 1. And I think 40 runs is around about the number you're looking to get. Anywhere between 40, 45 is good. Anything above that's an absolute bonus. But the key, particularly here at the Wacker, is just getting in as a batsman. If you get in, you can really cash in at the back end of the innings. You can really hurt some attacks.
Down the track's gone up in the air. Richardson getting back, should take it, and does. So Putland into the attack and gets a wicket immediately, and it is the real danger man, Michael Hussey.
He just gets wickets for fun this year, Gary Putland. Second ball to Mr. Cricket. It's just a normal length ball. Hussey trying to take him on, and it was just too short, not a half volley. And Richardson has read the ball very well. He's a good athlete, made the adjustment, ran back, took a good catch, and Mike Hussey is out for 4. The Scorchers 2 for 41.
The Scorchers have just lost their second wicket of the night. Herschel Gibbs and now Michael Hussey back in the sheds. And Putland goes past the outside edge.
And it's just what you were talking about before. I think the wickets keep retaining them early are so important because both teams aren't batting very deep. See, Vogel's coming out at 5, but Nathan Coulter-Nile's batting 7. And for the strikers, Tim Ludeman's number 7. So generally in that area, you've still got a batting all-rounder in that position. We've got a wicket keeper and a bowling all-rounder.
Good shot, but straight to Geropoulos. Yeah, I thought that as well. When I saw both teams, and you go through their sort of top 7 or 8 batters, they're putting a lot of reliance on their top 3 or 4 batters.
You're just hitting high on the bat from Mike Hussey, just looking to place it over mid-off and not getting the timing he'd like as it hit up near the splice of the bat. A good catch by Richardson, overhead mark. He'd have an Aussie rules background, wouldn't he?
He's an Adelaide boy, of course he would. Big centre forward. He's moved well for those 2 catches.
I think he loves his basketball, actually, Kane Richardson. Oh, that was... didn't go exactly where he wanted it, Adam Voges.
Could have chipped in a little bit earlier, Bluey, before I went on that track.
7 overs gone, 2 for 43. Well, let's have a look at the dimensions here tonight at the Wacker. So always reasonably short straight here. And as we move away to that outer side, that's probably the just over 70 metres, 77, yeah, out towards that mid-wicket area.
You want to defend straight down the ground in those later overs. It's really tough. Whoever's got those death overs duties for both teams, they're going to have to execute well, right on the money, make them drive along the ground.
So good healthy crowd here. They love their Big Bash stuff over here. Do the Perth crowds. I think this ground is absolutely ideal for 2020 cricket. Saw great crowds last year, and the team was successful as well.
It looks like they haven't continued on from that speed dating game that they had a couple of years ago, Bluey, that we're at, and sort of lost you for a couple of overs in that game, I remember.
Yeah, what happened with that? This sort of fell away pretty quickly, didn't it? Speed dating out in the hill out there. I think you came over. You're happily married,
I thought
of
you
course.
fell away very quickly when I tried to ask you a question.
Don't worry, mate. Got no chat at all. Shocking. Another one past the outside edge. So Sean Marsh, 18 off 24. We knew that he wasn't coming into this game in terrific touch. And coming off the short run now, Botha.
Catch!
Garoppolo's quick to get to that in the outfield. He's out of deep cover. Sean Marsh has just got to try to keep himself still at the crease. He's moving all over the place and making it hard for himself to find his timing. The right-hand, left-hand combination just may help throw the bowler here.
Well, that's ordinary from Ferguson. Even with the cap on backwards, you've got to do better than that. That's just gone straight to him.
He's copied the skipper. Both was going that way, and it's always good to back up the skipper, but you've got to back it up in the field, mates.
It's a bit tidy stuff here from the strikers. Too many boundaries so far. Often can be a hard ground to defend, but I like their energy out there. They look sharp.
Oh, before that ball that Ferguson misfield, I've liked the energy from the fielders in the circle, and the outfielders have been running, cutting off the twos.
Ease down to deep mid on, so another tidy over there from Botha. 2 for 48.
Yes, you.
So 2 for 48 after 8. It's, game's pretty much in the balance. The Scorchers winning the toss and electing to bat. Both teams were keen to bat. Results after the past 12 games here. The team batting first have won 10 of those games. So it seems to be a big advantage. Putland into his second over.
Bergie, we got you. The ball seems to be carrying very well for the quicks, and the spinners are getting a little bit of turn.
Yeah, it certainly does. And look, our bowlers have started really well here. We're really pleased with this start. If we can pick up another 1 or 2 before the 12th over, then it'll put them right on the back foot.
Oh, that's a good shot from Adam Vogue, just hoiked across the line. Wasn't a bad ball from Gary Putland.
That's a real come over to my side shot. This is just going across the off-stump line, and Vogue is just collecting it sweetly wide of mid-on. Good shot. He remained in control, kept his head down. quick single, putting mid off under pressure.
And Fergie, obviously very breezy out there, that the cap has to go backwards. It won't stay on in its normal way.
Actually, it's funny you asked that. This is taking the pressure right off my ears, so very comfortable with it this way. I might have to lose it for the next game, I reckon. It doesn't quite fit my head right.
Maybe tuck those ears in to the cap, Fergie.
Yeah, that's even worse, I reckon.
Top edge. Has he got enough? He has. All the way for 6. The first 6 for Marsh.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he got that totally in the middle of the bat, but we know it's a short boundary out there. Putland going with that shorter ball. And Marsh, his first 6 for the innings.
Edge down to third man, so good comeback from Putland.
And Fergie, no room in the team for Sean Tate. I think everyone was looking forward to him bowling tonight at the Wacker.
Yeah, look, Sean loves bowling here, but at the same time, we've got 3 high-quality spinners who have, spin bowling does have a bit of success here with the extra bounce. So the selectors decided to go with Tatey for without Tatey for this one, and hopefully we can get the job done and see him later in the tournament.
Oh, work to leg side, only one. Thanks, Cullen, for your time, and good luck for the rest of the match.
No worries, boys. Cheers.
That's 9 gone, 2 for 61. So 2 for 61. Yeah, just getting towards the halfway mark. The Scorchers will be very keen for one of these players, Marsh, who's on 27, or Adam Voges, who's on 10, to bat throughout the innings. Both are getting it right up into that block hole, which he does so well.
He's just negating the boundaries, isn't he? Both are 2.1 overs, none for 9. He's get it right in the block hole. He's got a couple of deliveries that go either way, so the batsman's not comfortable to come down and take him on.
The Marsh just hit the 1-4 and the 1-6 in this innings today. 27 off 28.
He missed out on that one again, Sean Marsh. And I suppose the positive is there's no better way to get back into a bit of nick than spending a bit of time out in the middle. He's been out there for 29 deliveries now. So it might just come back with the odd shot here and there, just to regain a bit of confidence.
Yeah, there's nothing like this time in the middle, and as soon as he finds the boundary on a few occasions, suddenly feels that he's in as good a form. He's got a recent 100 which got him back into the Shield side in a second 11 game down in Hobart, so he's in some sort of touch. He's obviously feeling the tension of the occasion.
And the lack of pace is working for the spinners as well, isn't it? The Scorchers batsmen are having to come up with things and innovate, like we saw there, and Voges missing the ball.
There's that extra bounce at the Wacker. When he missed that, I thought it was just going straight in the middle stump.
Ball 2 straight away, and they'll get there comfortably. There's a real effort down there at mid-on. Just the 2. You're not going to get too many LBs here, are you, with this extra bounce?
Did you ever get given out LBW? You're 6'10". It'd have to hit you on the shoe, wouldn't it?
A couple on the shin. Yeah, playing across the line.
They never umpired again in Perth. That was the power you had, the Godfather.
No, not at all. I used to walk when I felt I was out.
When you're 182.
The 4 from the over so far. Voges again calling 2 straight away. He's going to probably get more if he wants. It's a good piece of fielding, but they've run it well, and they'll complete 3. So 7 off the over. Halfway, mate, 2 for 68.
Yeah, halfway, 2 for 68. So double the score now. They're looking, around about that 140, 150 mark. So they need to get on with it a little bit. Herschel Gibbs, Hussey, a couple of dangerous players back in the sheds. Kadich to come, and Triffett, Coulter, Nile, and then quite a lengthy tail.
The bowling's been good. Richardson was a little bit wayward, but he swung the ball with good bounce. Lyon, economy rate of 5.5 and a wicket. Ajmal just the one over. He'll bowl right at the death. Bota, 15 runs off just 3. Putlam picking up a wicket, 2 overs for 16.
Yeah, the quicker bowlers going at 8 runs and over, and the spinners between 5 and 7.
Richardson back into the attack, so going with pace once again. The spinners have been very effective, haven't they? And they've thought this through well, the strikers. They've changed the pace. I think they've recognised both Shaun Marsh and Herschel Gibbs at the top of the order would prefer the ball coming on.
Well, all 3 of them are world class. I mean, they're all very, very good spin bowlers. And particularly Botha and Ajmal, very experienced T20 bowlers.
Very, very quick outfield. I tell you what, you'd think that they're going to need a total of about 170 plus. It's going to be so hard to defend.
Well, generally, the team batting first wins here at the Wacker, but we've seen trends in the first 3 Big Bash games where the chasing teams won all 3.
Again, looking for 2, but they're not going to get there.
And we haven't seen any big totals, Bluey, have we? They've been 160, 170. So the scoreboard pressure hasn't worked for the team batting first.
I think the teams are also just finding their way. It's very early in the Big Bash, just pacing their innings. What is a good score? What's not a good score? Suddenly losing wickets. How to recover from that position. A look for 2 on this occasion. Worked nicely by Marsh through mid-wicket.
Certainly adding up the Ks, Theo Geropoulos, he's 12th man a lot in the last 2 years since he's gone to the Strikers. I thought it was part of his contract, but they've given him a game. He's a character, and we know he's a very explosive player.
Well, he's shown his worth in the field too. I reckon he's saved about 4 or 5 runs so far tonight. But he can be dangerous as well. Probably come in at about 6 or 7 in the order.
Oh, hit beautifully. Hit very, very firmly straight into the side screen. Take 6.
Yeah, he just stood nice and still on that occasion, Shaun Marsh. Just looked like he had a clear head on that occasion. Probably premeditated a little bit. He just thought, right, if this is full, I'm going. And that's just an indication of how well he can hit the ball.
That's such a brutal shot. Richardson bowling fast, 140 Ks, and he's nice and tall. Marsh likes it, the balance. We know he's got a lot of class. What a beautiful bat swing.
And again, look at that go! Marsh opening his shoulders for another 4.
2 for 83 after 11. What about Tom Moody going? He's on fire up here. Well, that's just what you say is, one good shot's just something to turn a player around. And Shaun Marsh, maybe that 6 is the shot that just gets his season going.
Well, the bowler adjusts, don't they? They don't like getting hit back over the head for 6. So Richardson trying to push it across in the next delivery. And talked about a great bat swing. What about that one? He doesn't bother running at all. And it's shots like that where you just know he got 100 on Test match debut. That he plays on a different field at times. So much time. And will that get the acceleration going? Been battling a little bit. 41 off 34 deliveries now, Shaun Marsh.
Looks like the physio's out there, so you just wonder whether he's struggling or not.
And what about the Big Bash Fantasy League moves? I'm sure you've got a team as well. And Greg Blewett, I know Brendan Julian's got a team. And Shaun Marsh opening up. He's going to make a lot of runs. I'm sure he'll be in a lot of teams. Go to bigbashfantasy.foxsports.com.au. And yes, Shaun Marsh putting his name up there. Always like a few all-rounders in the Big Bash team.
Scorchers will be relatively happy to see the Marsh starting to open his shoulders. A few padded up there. Simon Kadich, Nathan Coulter-Niles padded up. He also can hit a few. Nathan Lyon back into the attack. And he's into his third over. First two only going for 11. Nathan Lyon adjusting well from being in the test arena to suddenly throwing himself into the big bash.
Bowling, once again, bowling to his fields. Singles, the strikers will take that at this stage. 2 for 84 off 11. That's around par, you'd imagine, for what they tried to achieve at the start. 170, 180, batting first.
Oh, hit very hard again, square, and that's got to go for 4. So Marsh is finding the middle of the bat.
Yeah, he's on a little mini roll now, Sean Marsh. First the 6 and then a beautiful cover drive, and now a nice cut off the bowling of Nathan Lyon. This is nicely hit as well.
Marsh is just showing the benefit of just spending some time out there. His first 20-odd balls, he was a little bit all over the place, but now he's really finding some rhythm in his game.
I think he's worked out the pace and the pitch. He's worked out the bowlers.
Oh, Burgess persevering with a reverse sweep, and it's paying off. He finds the boundary. 12 overs gone, it's 2 for 93.
Runs starting to fly now for the Scorchers. Nathan Lyon just going for a couple of boundaries. 3 overs, 1 for 21. And of course, you guys will be watching tomorrow night. Inside Cricket, live tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. on Fox Sports 2. Brendan Julian's the host. I'll be there. Alan Border will be there. And of course, Fresh Craddock, who's, I think, just provided a lot on the couch moods.
Yeah, he has a chat, doesn't he, Crash? Any oxygen there? A 52 partnership off 33 deliveries. And Ajmal back into the attack to slow things down. So Johan Both are going to his overseas star.
His stock ball's turning. Just didn't quite get the line or the length right on that occasion.
The problem with Ajmal, for most batsmen, and us up here for that matter, is which way is it going? Are you reading him? Clem, I'm talking to you. Are you reading him?
I'm reading him better up here than I would down there. Generally, to the right-handers, he's a real worry, isn't he? Because he's got the off-spinner, the toppy, and the Dooja is probably the best one in the world. And I know on occasions in 50-over cricket, he's got to the Australian middle order, and he's just ran through the middle order and the tail-enders. Big test here for Adam Voges.
Pulled away only for 1.
They just dropped that last delivery a little bit short. It looked like the top spinner or the one that goes the other way. Yeah, it was definitely attempted. Just come out with a bit of top spin on it.
You don't mind it when it's short. It's when he gets it on that good length. And if you don't pick it out of the hand, you're in real trouble. He's too short at the moment.
Yeah, see, a lot of players will be trying to read him off the wicket. They're not picking him out of the hand. Bowling that length, it's a lot easier to read out of the wicket. And I'm sure the batsmen are thankful they're playing on the whacker and not on a real turner.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of the subcontinent bowlers bowl the scrambled seam the whole time. Guys that can spin it both ways.
Max.
That was the off spinner. But yeah, when you watch Nathan Lyon bowl, you can see the seam sort of going around it's got a good form on it. You can see that the actual seam spinning, but if it's a scrambled seam, it's a lot more difficult to see which way it's spinning.
pulled away a game, but there's protection out on the leg side for Ajmal. So it's a good over from him. Only 4 coming from it. 13 gone. It's 2 for 97.
Yeah, it was a good over. Just the 4 off, so 7 overs to go. Who is the Strikers' top spinner, Ajmal, Lyon, or Botha? Interesting. 58% saying Nathan Lyon. I'll tell you what, Ajmal has had a fair T20 career. 151 wickets at 15 with an economy rate of 6 per over. It's not bad.
Still hasn't got a wicket for the Strikers, though.
Down.
And he's not Australian either. Well, they give Nathan Lyon credit. He's bowled well tonight. Bowled really well in his 4th over. Got 1 for 21. Bogue is looking to go over the top but not quite getting underneath it. And this could well be 4. A bit of a fumble down there at deep mid-on. I think it's Philip Hughes down there. No. Winger down there. Has he got hold of the ball as he stumbled over the line?
First impression was, would have thought it had to have been 4. Let's have a look. He's still got it in his hand now. He releases it and his foot's on the turf. So you would think that is 4 for sure.
Yeah, 4 all the way. He's had a bit of a shocker there.
Hit pretty hard. Didn't have a lot of time to react.
Come on, mate. That was, I'm afraid, cost his team 2. Bogue's edges, and it's just wide of the short 3rd man, and a run away for another boundary. So back-to-back boundaries in Nathan Lyon's last over.
Well, I think you can live with getting driven down the ground for 4, but that one just a little bit too wide. And it wasn't a controlled stroke from Voges, but he could shape up to play it because got a little bit of width, or he created the width, and almost a catch, but innovation. It's worked his way, and more innovation, a reverse sweep. Goes to the danger end. The Zing bails. They're lifted on this occasion.
Yeah, well, he's home, no doubt about that. But better fielding on that occasion from Callum Ferguson, who missed an easy one early, but he actually attacked that one hard, got the throw in. Direct hit he would have been out, but a bit of a fumble too from Lyon. He's home.
I'm liking those Zing bails. Cut away firmly. He's only going to get 1, Sean Marsh. And Lyon just taking the pace off that last delivery.
Geez, I'm just loving the contest, hasn't it? There's been different stages where teams that feel like that they were in front. This partnership's been a good one. 66 off 44 balls.
The last ball of Nathan Lyon's spell has been expensive this overs to date. 10 coming from. It's only going to go for 11, so you'd have to say a good spell by Nathan Lyon. 1 for 32 off his 4, 14 gone. It's 2 for 108.
Well, there's plenty of fire and action on the field. The run rate 7.71, but you can see from the overs 9 to 14, the run rate has steadily been on the incline, with Marsh and Voges hitting 7 boundaries between them. Marsh hitting 2 big 6s. See a bowling change. Theo Doropoulos with the ball in hand, a very handy medium pacer. Used to bowling at the Wacker when he was playing for Western Australia. And he's done a great job in the field, boys, hasn't he? Been running around everywhere, stopping boundaries, cutting certain 2s to singles.
Yeah, well, the fielding is such an important element of T20 cricket. You need everyone to stand up. You can't hide anyone a field in T20 cricket. Doropoulos just bowls little medium paces. He looked to change his pace here.
Nicely struck from Voges. And there'll be a big chase for the hat backwards man, Callum Ferguson. He's done a good job.
He made good ground then, Ferguson. He's his first 10, 15 metres, he's extremely quick. So out on the rope.
Oh, nice shot again. Could just be a single. It's a handy pace from Theo Dropoulos. It'll be interesting to see how many overs he bowls. It might be just the one. Get overs out of Richardson and Putland, but it just changes up a little bit. Good bowling. And it's 50 up for Sean Marsh. The second half has been an absolute treat to watch.
Yeah, it's good to see him back in the run. Sean Marsh gets a really nice ovation from his home crowd. He's had a tough 3 or 4 months, maybe even longer. So this might just be the innings to turn his season around.
Well, it's his 22nd half century in T20 cricket. He's got 200s as well.
Another nice punch straight down the ground. Some good fielding again. Strikers have shown plenty of energy in the field. Their coach Darren Berry will be very happy at this stage. But 8 wickets in hand. We can accelerate them here, Moots.
Yeah, most importantly, they've got a couple of batsmen that are in, so they can really take advantage of these last few overs.
He'll be bowling that one again.
Yeah, he's not the worst bowler, Theo Dropoulos. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, he is on, because they've got plenty of options up their sleeve with Putland and Richardson and, of course, the spinners. So could have just left all of the overs to their main guys.
Short, and it's worked. Might have been a slow ball bouncer there, which we've seen be so effective in the Big Bash in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's well bowled. Well bowled, dragged it down. It was definitely a slower ball. Marshall threw the shot. Here it is, off cutter, just dragged down. Always hard to hit because you set yourself on a certain pace. Once it's been held back, it's hard to recover.
Oh, he's hammered that, Marsh. Boom, all the way, 6 runs. His third 6 of the innings. After 15 overs, the Scorchers 2 for 120.
Yeah, he just waited for it to be in his arc, and let's have a look at some of the highlights of his innings so far. Sean Marsh. It was a little bit scratchy early, but certainly his last 30 runs have been more like the Sean Marsh we've come to know and see here, especially here at the Wacker. Some clean hitting. That was the shot that really got him going. That was a beautiful cover drive, and then a cut off Nathan Lyon, and he's looking better and better. That was the last delivery, right in his zone.
Yeah, at this stage of the innings, you just can't afford to pitch it up and not get it right in the block hole, because it's going to disappear straight into the stand.
Yeah, especially if you attack the stumps. Voges has done a good job, hasn't he? He's played within himself, but 40 runs off 30 deliveries is a fine second string batting effort from him so far.
He sneaks up on you, doesn't he? Just picks up those 1s and 2s. Before you know it, look at the scoreboard. Wow, he's 40.
What can Marsh do now? 3 4s, 3 6s. Gives himself some room through the offside. A single.
Voges is a perfect foil for Marsh at the moment. Obviously got the left and right hander, which is helpful, but Voges more happy to feed the strike to Marsh, and if he doesn't get 1, he'll put the fielder under pressure to get 2. Gets a bad ball, he's a good enough player to hit it to the fence.
Advances, and it's just gone over mid-wicket. Dropoulos again. How many Ks has he covered tonight? Keeps it to a single.
Yeah, Marsh and Voges going really well now. Partnership of 82. Be interesting to see who they send in next. Might be time for Coulter-Nile. Simon Kadich is listed to come in next, but we might see a big hitter come in.
Oh, it's high. So who is under this? Klinger takes a great catch. Had some doubts, but he watched the ball all the way, and in the end gets rid of the dangerous Sean Marsh.
That was a serious catch, that, from Michael Klinger. It went up and he sort of had a bit of a look around to see if anyone else was coming in and decided to commit himself. And I have to say, when it was up in the air, I thought, nah, he's not going to catch this. But in the end, it went straight into the middle of the hands. I know it didn't look spectacular, but that was a very, very good catch there to Michael Klinger. And Sean Marsh he played well tonight. Bit of a scratchy start, but gee, finished well. 57 from 45. And the score now 3 for 123.
Well, Sean, congratulations on the 50. It must be nice to get some time out in the middle.
Yeah, look, it was nice. I sort of forgot what it felt like. But boys are in a pretty good position here, and hopefully we can kick on to about 170, 180.
It looked tough early. Was it tough out there?
Yeah, I just struggled with my rhythm a little bit, and once we got going, it was a lot better. So yeah, happy. But hopefully the boys can finish off now. We can post a good total and try and defend it.
And a couple of Panadol. Don't tell me you were hitting those sixes in pain.
No, not at all. No.
What was wrong?
No, nothing. It's all good.
Congratulations.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Nerily Meadows with Sean Marsh, who's going to get a drink. Well earned after scoring a very good 50. And you called it, Bluey. Nathan Coulter-Nile comes out. He is a dangerous lower order batsman. I look forward to seeing him bowl on this pitch as well.
Down.
Nice little reverse sweep. So Nathan Coulter-Nile, did you have much to do with him when you were coach at the Wacker?
Yeah, look, he's been around a long time. Nathan Coulter-Nile is identified at a young age as a talented quick bowler. Had a lot of injury problems, but he seemed to have worked through that over the past few years. He's a real talent. He's primarily a bowler, bowls with good pace, handy down the order batsman, gives it a good strike, but I'll tell you what is the surprise is he's a gun fielder. He's a brilliant fielder.
Backs away, hits hard, straight down the ground. This will be a test. And a 4 first ball.
Well, he beat me to it because I was just about to say that generally doesn't like to look at too many deliveries before he starts striking. 3 for 128. That's his very first ball. He knew he was probably going to try and cramp him a little bit. And there was a deep mid-off, but it was hit too powerfully for him.
He's probably pleased that he can come back at catchable height. It would have blown his hands away. It's a powerful strike of the ball. Nathan Coulter-Nile, and the bats of the players wield these days. Tell you what, if hit the middle, look out.
Start seeing some reverse follow-through at this stage, Moods. They'll be looking at least 10 and over, 168, 7 wickets in hand. Voges is set, 42 off 32. If Coulter-Nile stays out there for a couple of overs, the strike rate's going to continue to get higher and higher. You just see the changes of pace. The previous ball, 81 Ks, the wicket ball, 95. And that's a strength of both his bowling. Can turn the ball, but it's also these subtle changes of pace that keeps the batsman guessing.
That's the real key to his bowling, isn't it? He's not a huge turner of the ball. It's that pace variation. A lot of players find it difficult to read it.
Putland. Full toss. Just gets a single. That's probably why Botha doesn't have a great first-class record, is the batsman got the time to sit on him. But when there's that scoreboard pressure and times ticking away and you have to take him on, that's when he's brought into the game. 1 for 23 from the skipper. He'll be batting number 6. He's got a good record in limited overs cricket with the bat. But Gary Putland coming around the wicket. He'll be looking to cramp Coulter-Nile for room. That's in the air. Nice little chip shot. They'll come back from 2.
So check in with Callum Ferguson. The game at an interesting stage. Are you quite happy with where the scoreboard's at?
We'd probably like to have him a few less at this stage, but look, if we can get a couple of wickets here, obviously Sean Marsh going helps us big time. So if we can have a couple of tight overs here, hopefully we can keep him to sort of around 160, maybe just under.
And that's high. Who is under this one? We've seen a couple tonight. Oh, he's dropped it. Kane Richardson, who's taken a couple of catches tonight, got a grin on his face. That's a high ball.
I'm sure I saw a couple of fielders running in the other direction when that was up there. That went to the light tower peaks. Coulton Isle getting right underneath this, hitting it a mile in the air. Richardson coming in and unfortunately spilling it.
And he hits that hard. That's out of here. 6 to Coulton Isle.
Oh, it's gone straight over Kane Richardson's head as well. He'll be coughing it on the boundary. I'm sure the crowd down there will be loading him up. And, well, really, when you drop a catch, you just want the batsman to get out quite quickly. And then you back it up with a 6. Just rubs it in a little bit. So he won't be feeling great about himself.
14 off 4, Coulton Isle. Good strike and he's out. So a great catch from Philip Hughes. So an interesting 3 balls, a drop, a 6, and a nice little catch. Smile from Philip Hughes and good reward for Putland.
Well, it cost them a few runs, didn't it? Because they got back for a couple with a drop catch, and then the next one went for 6. So didn't quite getting it out of the middle. It was probably in the zone. It was a slow ball from Gary Putland, but straight into the hands of Philip Hughes, and he goes 4 for 139.
Scorchers captain Simon Kadich strides out to the crease at 4 for 139. Very good strike rate, 131. Best of 48. Don't think he'll get there tonight. Slow ball again from Putland. Swing and a miss from Kadich after 17 overs. The Scorchers 4 for 139.
Sean Marsh at the top of the order with a half century, his 22nd half century in T20 cricket. Gibbs went early for a brisk 14. Hussey also early. Voges, a very, very good innings today, 43 off 33. And Coulton Isle, a valuable 14 off just 5 deliveries.
Yeah, he kept things going nicely there. A couple of nice blows. And Ajmal now back into the attack. So he's got a couple of overs up his sleeve, so you'd think he'd finish out. Interesting, spinner bowling the last couple of overs.
Oh, they've got 3 in their team, so it was always going to come down to this. And Ajmal has had an amazing couple of years for Pakistan in all 3 forms. His record's fantastic. Coming around the wicket to the right-hander. And not controlled, not a catch, just a single. Sloppy from the bowler. Voges will retain the strike.
Not a great throw back to Ajmal either. Should have recovered it. Ferguson just bouncing it very full.
First sweep. Couldn't generate a lot of power with that shot.
Yeah, in that situation, just don't throw it. No chance of a run out. All that can happen is get an extra run.
Simon Kadich, who's retired from first-class cricket, coming to captain the Scorchers. That unique style of his. Had a great couple of years for Australia opening up.
He's fresh from 100. Flem, he played for his old club side yesterday, Midland Guildford, and scored 100. So he's in a bit of nick.
Oh, that's got helmet.
But I tell you what, he didn't face a bowler like this yesterday.
Not on 0. He's not an easy player to start against.
Yeah, they're playing Perth Cricket Club, and I don't think Ajmal was fronting up there.
Not too many mystery spinners in the opposition. He hits that well. And will it dissect the fieldsman? No. Good work for Nathan Reardon. We haven't seen a lot of tonight.
Yeah, there he is. Plays most of his cricket up in Brisbane. Played for the Renegades last year. He's with the Strikers. A bit more responsibility too. He's got to bat at number 4. He's listed to come in at number 4.
Not really hitting the middle of the bat, but the miss hit actually helps them get to, does it? It's going to be tight, and they do. Ooh.
Ajmal doing a good job here. It's amazing to think that a spinner, you would never imagine this 10, 20 years ago, a spinner finishing a shorter form game, whether it be 20 overs or 50 overs, and being nearly impossible to hit.
Big appeal. Might have been going over. Paul Wilson says not out. After 18, it's 4 for 146. Hot day in Perth, and the Scorchers are flying at the moment. Can they get to that 170 mark? Good crowd. Plenty of people filling up that hill area. Great way to watch the cricket here at the Wacker. 12 balls to go. Gary Putland, we know what a great job he can do at the death. Plenty of Yorkers, off-cutter slower balls. Voges on strike, 46. And he's taken that probably 30 centimetres outside off stump through to square leg.
The strikers have got a pretty good combination towards the end of their innings. They've got Putland, who's a good death bowler. He's going to bowl 2. And Ajmal's going to finish off at the other end, you would have thought, and finish with 2.
Just check out this LBW decision, and at the time I thought it looked pretty close. Paul Wilson shook his head quite quickly, just hitting the stumps. Damien Fleming actually mentioned the height, so yeah, just giving him the benefit of the doubt there. Certainly straight enough.
Full toss, can't put it away though, Simon Kadich. We saw last year in the Ryobi Cup, Gary Putland bowl that last over against the Tigers to get the Redbacks home. Getting wickets in Shield cricket, but showing that he's got good skills at the death as well.
Yeah, love to see him play the rest of the season out, Clemo, uninjured, because that's, I think he would have had opportunities in the Australian side if he hadn't have had so many injuries.
He's gone wide, and it's worked. Probably would have been a wide call. So far, just singles off this over. So they're negating those boundaries in these last few overs. So that's a big win for the strikers.
It's always hard for the batsman to come in at this stage and be expected to find the boundary, regardless whether you get 100 in grade cricket the day before this game or not. Just go out there and suddenly get the pace of the game and find the boundary is a tough task.
Slower ball. No pace to work with. Good work from Klinger.
Well, they'd be happy with this, the strikers. Just the 4 singles off. And only the 150. Now, the Scorchers. So a big last over coming up as well. Ajmal, you would think, would bowl that. Voges, 48 not out.
Oh, good shot from Voges. That's his 50. And what a way to bring it up.
Very, very good innings by Adam Voges. Unsung hero, really, so far in this innings. 38 balls he's faced for that 52. 5 fours in it. Been very effective. The way he's run between the wickets, the way he's placed the ball into the field, got his 1s and 2s. That's what the Scorchers needed. He needs to finish off. 7 balls remaining in this innings. He needs to try to take most of the strike, find the boundary.
Yeah, he's 11th T20 50 in his career, Adam Voges, and only the second half century in any form of cricket so far this season, so he's been battling a bit as well.
Advances mid-wicket, got plenty of that one. Voges is starting to unleash at the Wacker. After 19, it's 4 for 158.
Yeah, they need a nice little flurry here. That over's going nicely. The first 4 deliveries went for singles, and then on the 5th he took a bit of a risk, Adam Voges, and got the 4 and then cleaned up on the last delivery too. Skipped down the wicket and got the gap. Didn't absolutely get it out the middle of the bat, but the placement was good, so back-to-back boundaries to finish off that over.
A lot of leg side to Adam Voges. Couple runs down to third man. Not too much in the covers in point region. Ajmal got short and Simon Kadich gets that on the end of the bat and pokes the ball back to the bowler.
That's a bit of chalk for the end of the bat, doesn't it?
Take it out. Little clip to the leg side. Just be the single. Used to do a lot of that at test level, Simon Kadich.
It's not a bad thing either because it's got Voges back on strike. He's the man that's in form and been out in the middle. Voges, where's he going to go? I suggest he's got to try to go straight, not hit across the line. Everyone's tried to hit Ajmal across the line and struggled to do so.
Is it the offie, the toppie or the doozer? And he's got that down to third, well, short third man to Callum Ferguson.
Yeah, he just had a big smile. Adam Voges on the way through there. Saw him backing away and just fired it in. So, not easy to do. Change the delivery right at the last second.
Another sweep through the leg side from Kadich. Nathan Reardon fielding well. Good over after 4 balls, just 3 off. They get to 170, they'll need a boundary and a 6.
Well, he's not only spinning it both ways, but he's very good at changing that pace.
This one's in the air. One bounce to Putland. And a good throw and he's out. The Zing Bales are flying. And another wicket down for the Scorchers.
Yeah, didn't quite carry out to Gary Putland, but he just composed himself nicely. See there, nice and balanced. Saw him coming back just wide of the stumps, but not even in the frame, Adam Voges. A nice little knock that coming in the middle where things were just starting to slow down a bit. 5 for 162.
Last over.
One ball to go. Tom Trippett comes out. The wicketkeeper has made the move from Tasmania this summer. Luke Ronke has moved over to New Zealand to hopefully play international cricket for New Zealand. Create an opportunity for a very talented wicketkeeper batsman, Tom Trippett. And he'll be facing Ajmal. He's got none for 22. And he hits it high. Will it be 6? No, it won't be. An easy catch to probably the best fieldsman of the night so far, Theo Doropoulos. A big hit out there, and Ajmal, Tom Moody, it's fair to say he deserved a wicket.
He's bowled beautifully, really has shown his class. A hard one for Trifford though, coming in for one ball, looking to hit out of the ground, just getting the bottom edge, ballooning up, and as you said, Doropoulos has been good out there today, took that comfortably. So the Scorchers picking up with 162, Trifford goes for a duck. You have to say, they probably feel they're about 10-15 short.
Still a good wicket to bowl on with that new ball. And we've seen even the spinners with the older ball getting good bounce, but they'll be very happy. I think when they lost the toss, anything under 170 would have been a bonus for the strikers, and they've got a very, very balanced attack. Not too many similar bowlers there. See Sean Marsh, 57 off 45. Herschel Gibbs showed a little bit of innovation up the top, 14 off 9. Mr. Cricket missed out tonight. Adam Voges was superb with his 58 off 41. Coulter-Nile hit hard, 14 off 5. Kadich 8 not out. Tom Trippett just facing that last ball and was caught. Doropoulos bowled Ajmal.
The strikers going with 3 spinners, major spinners in their attack, and it paid off. Richardson and Lyon opened the bowling. Richardson bowled with some good pace, a little bit unlucky early on. Lyon bowled well, changed his pace nicely. Ajmal will say no more. He was a genius tonight. Johan Botha was again tight, always difficult to get away. Putland showed his skills again, very, very useful at the end of the innings, picking up a couple of wickets. Doropoulos only bowling 1.
We'll throw down Danerally.
That's right, Adam Voges got 58. Congratulations, first of all, Adam. Now, you came in right at the right time. You and Sean really got things going.
Yeah, obviously Sean played really, really well, and we got a really good partnership going. And I think when you get in on this wicket, it becomes a lot easier than when you first start. So, yeah, nice to just get a few.
Nice to see Sean get a few as well.
Yeah, he played really, really well. So, hopefully his hammy's okay, but we'll wait and see.
162, is it going to be enough?
It'll have to be. Yeah, look, when Simon came out at the end, I said anything above 160, we're definitely in the game. So, bowl and field well, a few early wickets, so I think we're definitely in the game.
Well, Adam, good luck for the defence.
Thanks, Nerily. Cheers.
Stick around, we'll have all the sixes, all the wickets and all the analysis after the break. Plus, I'll catch up with Patrick Cummins.
Halfway through this game here at the WACA, the Perth Scorchers taking on the Adelaide Strikers. The Scorchers winning the toss, electing to bat first. We saw Sean Marsh here, back in touch, scored a nice half century, hitting a couple of sixes, but gee, looked good, some good catches as well. The Strikers, in my opinion, looked quite sharp, so the Scorchers going on to make 162, so 163 required by the Strikers to win this game. Marsh was good, 57 off 45 after a bit of a scratchy innings, and Voges good as well, 58 off 41. Nice little cameo too from Coulter-Nile, 14 off 5. So they ended up with 162. I'm joined by Tom Moody, 162. Where do you think that is in the scheme of things on this track?
Yeah, look, I think they'll be reasonably happy, but I honestly believe they're probably 10, 15 runs short of what they could have got. They got themselves into a position, particularly when Marsh and Voges were going together, they should have got around about 175, but Marsh went, unfortunately, he went for another big six. It was a good innings, but he fell to a very good catch by Michael Klinger, and they just didn't, they failed to really take advantage of them. Very good death bowling by Sage Ajmal and Putland.
Well, let's have a look at some of Sean's highlights, Sean Marsh that is, and good to see him back in some sort of form, Tom, isn't it? Because it's fair to say he probably looked a little bit scratchy the first 20, 25 balls that he faced, but he just got better.
Well, he's had a difficult summer. There's been a lot of spotlight on him for the wrong reasons, and it's been difficult for him to find that form and confidence. But once he gets going, he's such a dangerous player. He's got immense power, plays well off the back and front foot. If he wants to go down the ground, he can definitely cover or clear any fence in Australia.
What about Adam Voges? He's a busy cricketer as well, isn't he? He came in, he hasn't been in great form either during this season, but one of those players, he's experienced, and he came in and probably a difficult situation, but he kept things motoring along nicely.
Well, he's just such an effective player. He's particularly dangerous, when it comes to the leg side. He innovates, he's got the reverse sweeps, but he's a smart cricketer, Adam Voges. He's been around a long time and knows how to run the field hard, so he takes a lot of twos, and before you know it, he's got 30 or 40 on the board, so he creeps up on you.
Yeah, he does. He played wonderfully well here tonight, but let's cross now to Nerily Meadows. He's got Pat Cummins with her.
Thank you very much. I sure do. The thumbs up from Patrick Cummins there. What did you make of the game so far?
I thought we got off to a good start. Sean Marsh was on fire again. I think we'll take that. I thought we were pretty good.
You think it'll be enough?
I think so. I think Hoggy and Beery, our spinners, will be the key. And I know Hoggy lifts up here in the furnace, so it'll be good.
They certainly could use you out there right at the moment. Tell us about the injury. What's it up to?
Yeah, it's been about 6 weeks, I think, since I've been diagnosed. So I think it's going as well as it could have. But it's a pretty slow process, so I'm still a few weeks away.
What is the process now?
At the moment, it's trying to get into rehab, so there's not really much I can do because it's bone. In terms of the only thing is really to do is to wait. So I'm kind of waiting out. Hopefully, the next few weeks, I can get into the gym and start running, and eventually start bowling again.
When do you expect to be back?
Not this summer, unfortunately. I think probably first bowl around February, and it takes another couple of months to get up. So somewhere in the off season.
Now, one of the main reasons you came over here was Mitch Marsh. I hear you're sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, he stitched me up. I only gave him about 3 weeks' notice, and he's come up with a couch for me. So actually today he locked us out, so we've been sitting out in the backyard for 4 hours, very bored. So he's a horrible host.
Well, hopefully you get a bed soon. Thank you very much for your time, Patrick, and good luck with the recovery. After the break, they've put 162 on the board. Can the Strikers catch it? See you at the WACA.
crowd here at the Wacker tonight, and they've been treated to some good batting so far from Sean Marsh and Adam Voges. What about Callum Ferguson just hitting up at the moment? Ran around a fair bit in the field. They'll be chasing 163 for victory. It was a pretty good effort from the Strikers bowlers, going in with 3 spinners. Ajmal, their captain, Botha, and the test spinner Nathan Lyon did a good job having bowled here a couple of weeks ago in the test match for the Australians against the South Africans. A couple of Strikers fans here. Greg Blewett and that man on screen. Not a lot of support in the field at the moment, Bluey, but they've made plenty of noise and it's game on.
Yeah, it certainly is. Good to see some Strikers fans over here. Not sure how long, whether he resides over here, but good to see some blue in the crowd, because it can be quite a ferocious crowd over here in the West. They love supporting their teams. Yeah, 162. I have the Strikers' favourites from here. I think they should get those. But having said that, there's only been 2 successful run chases in the last 12 games in this ground, and the highest one being 158 being chased. So the 2 totals that have been got are quite small. So 162 though, I think the Strikers will be disappointed if they didn't get these.
And I think the key to this run chase for Strikers is really getting through the new ball. As silly as it sounds, you know, the first 6 overs you should be making hay. That's when the sun's shining with the field up, you're only allowed 2 out, but that proved to be the most difficult time really to bat, because the ball really flew through. There was a bit of movement. We saw the ball swing a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see Simon Caddis, to see who he opts to use with the new ball. They tend to use Michael Beer, the left-arm spinner, as one of the options. I'm sure it's going to be important just to get through that first 6 overs, get a reasonable total on the board, but have wickets in hand.
Yeah, I think Coulter-Nile, probably one of those guys that has probably got a bit of a licence in his first couple of overs with the new ball, try and get a couple of quick early wickets. And here comes the openers, Philip Hughes, back into the test side, along with Michael Klinger. And let's take you through the top 6 of the Strikers. Here's Michael Klinger. Said that he's been in good form in the practice games leading up to this. Philip Hughes, the left-hander, has been in terrific touch in all forms this season. Callum Ferguson batting at number 3. He's a dangerous player as well. Nathan Reardon gets his opportunity at number 4. Johan Botha batting at number 5. And then Theo Geropoulos rounding out the top 6. There's Michael Klinger, and the keeper up straight away. So, yeah, we're going to see Michael Beer going to bowl the first over. Michael Klinger's going to be on strike. Tom Triffett with the helmet on behind the stumps. And there we go to Philip Hughes. He's had a good week. We would have loved that news. Any time that recalled back into the Australian side is always a good call to take. From all indications, we're batting number 3. There's Michael Beer. Doesn't generally look to spin the ball when he opens the bowling.
No, he uses angles, so he uses the crease very well. He's not a big turner of the ball, so he'll look to use the crease, also change his pace. He's done a good job for the Scorchers with a new ball, so they'll be certainly leaning on him to not only tie up the batsman, to try to take a wicket or 2.
Yeah, well, Klinger's just got to almost face him as if he's an in-swing bowler. That's what we've seen him do the last couple of seasons. So the Strikers, 163 to win. Off the mark straight away, just a little bit short from Michael Beer.
A lot of turn to start. Good bounce. Fills this role pretty well, Michael Beer, in Big Bash cricket and also the Ryobi Cup. Been a good move over from Victoria. We used to play for the St Kilda Cricket Club, where Shane Warne used to bowl spin. But he's come over, he's played regular first-class cricket, and played a test match as well.
Played a lot of T20 cricket for Worcester during our winter over in England. And I'll tell you what, he's got a very good record, Philip Hughes. I'll take you through that after this ball. So he's off the mark as well with a single down to long on. But he's now played 25 matches in T20s. He's got just under 1,000 runs, highest score of 87 not out, at an average of 51. 51 in T20 cricket at a strike rate of 117. 8 50s. There's that angle into the right-hander.
Yeah, he had a very good season, as you pointed out, Worcester. And my memory is correct. I don't think he got out throughout the 2020 campaign for Worcester.
Goes to the onside, so that will be the first boundary of the Strikers' run chase.
Smart batting from Michael Klinger. He's such an experienced batsman these days. He knows he's not going to get, the ball's not going to spin past him, so he gets inside the line. It's over mid-on. Only 2 fielders out. It's tough for the spinners to defend that. Good swing of the bat.
Short, and he's just looking to just guide that past one of the guys there. End of the first over. None for 6. Saw some nice hitting from the likes of Shaun Marsh and Adam Voges. Herschel Gibbs got things rolling. Didn't last long tonight, Herschel, but contributed 1-6. That was a nice shot from Shaun Marsh. Maybe a little bit of a top edge in it. This, I think, was the shot that got him going. Took Theo Dropoulos downtown in the same area as well. And then Coulton Isle got dropped and then dumped one over the rope. So some nice hitting there from some of the Perth Scorchers batsmen. I'm surprised actually. Ben Edmondson's going to bowl the second over. I thought we'd see Coulton Isle, but normally we see Ben Edmondson more towards the end of the innings with the older ball. Oh, was there an inside edge? Oh, and half a chance for a run out too. Yeah, heard 2 noises, and Philip Hughes, which is a bit of a no-no, holding his bat up just to let the umpire know.
And almost got run out. Well, it had to have hit that, because that looked like it was going to hit the stumps. But 2 noises. Not sure if he's saying to hit the bat or he's sending the call back from Michael Klinger. Either way, a bit of excitement ball 1 from Edmondson.
Oh, that's through the onside, so Philip Hughes, nice little clip off the toes.
What an effortless shot this was. Just full pitch delivery, and it was just hit it where you please, if you don't mind. This is a shot of a form player. Working it to the leg side, plenty of space out there. He only had to beat the man just behind square. Timed it perfectly.
Yeah, that's been the improvement in his game, no doubt about it, through that onside.
I wonder if T20's helped with that, boys. You know, we know he was so strong through that point area, and in T20 cricket, you're not going to be getting too many balls short and wide. So to be able to play T20 cricket and score and have to open up your scoring options, that leg side shot, probably wouldn't have played that a couple of years ago.
Inside edge, so bowling quite full. Ben Edmondson, first ball just swung a little bit.
Well, we talked about Philip Hughes and the good summer or Australian winter he had in England. For the T20, he got 402 runs, strike rate of 126.8, average of over 100. So good numbers.
That's your old club, Worcester, wasn't it? Moots played there a fair bit.
Yeah, it must have been good numbers because it's a green top there too.
He still averaged 50.
Another full delivery, and that's been crunched. And it's been deflected by the fielder. I think he's okay. They get 2. He hit that hard.
Bradley Hogg, first time we've seen the Big Bash. Took it by storm last year. When he was bowling at the Wacker, there was chance of Hoggy everywhere, reminiscent of the great Dennis Lilly in the 70s and 80s. Got himself back in the Australian T20 team.
Oh, and that's been crunched as well and to the fielder. So Herschel Gibbs on that occasion. End of the second, number 12.
Well, the wickets in the Scorchers innings. Herschel Gibbs the first to go, looking to lift Nathan Lyon over the leg side, getting a thick inside edge. Mike Hussey was only in there for a short period of time, looking to lift Putland over the top. Richardson taking a sharp catch, running backwards.
Sean Marsh played beautifully for his 57, hit 3 sixes, went to go for another one, and Michael Klinger, fantastic catch there. Gary Putland coming around the wicket, Coulter-Nile hit the ball hard for his 14, Philip Hughes taking the catch, and Adam Voges, 58, was run out. Fantastic throw from Gary Putland. Tim Ludeman didn't have to do much, and those Zing Bales flying off. Last ball of the innings, Tom Trippett hitting the ball hard, but getting caught. Nice clip from Klinger. No one out there, and it's going to be 4 runs. Just getting on the leg stump. You can't afford to do that here at the Wacker.
Yeah, just complete that dismissal of Tom Triffett. Came in, had 1 ball to go. He actually hit it quite well. But not quite good enough, and Theodoropoulos taking a fairly simple catch. But Ajmal was good tonight, but they were all the Scorchers wickets to go down. Coulter-Nile after going for a boundary with his first delivery. And past the outside edge, that is good heat. Well, it's 140, but I love the carry.
Tell you what, that's almost the doorway to departure. I remember him knocking over Klinger in a Ryobi Cup game like this when Klinger was settled. But it's that steep bounce he seems to get that is so unique for a quicker bowler.
He really hits the deck hard. He's a powerful bowler. Good strong shoulder action, gets through it. Ball does go through quickly.
The bat hard as well.
He'd be a little bit proppy after that one. Just a very watchful Michael Klinger. Coulter-Nile opened the bowling for Australia A against South Africa early in the season, so the Australian selectors have identified him, toured England as well with Australia A. Can shape the ball away when things are going, but genuine the pace over 140. Good bounce like that previous ball. Things are coming together for him.
Tucked him up, but they're going to scramble a single. Left it behind the fielder.
I think Nathan Coulter-Nile is definitely one that the Australian selectors see in this form of the game, whether it's T20 cricket or 50-over cricket. He's got all the all-round skills. Bowls with good pace, he can swing it with a new ball. And he's got his variations like a lot of bowlers this day and age. So he's dynamic in the field. Need to field his own delivery then. And they're more than handy with the bat.
What about at the end, Moose? How does he generally bowl when he's under pressure at the end of an innings?
Yeah, look, that's the hardest time, isn't it? And we saw Putland do that very well for the strikers. That's probably an area he can continue to improve.
Oh, what about that for a shot? That actually swung in a little bit. Just hoiked it.
That's a pull glance from Philip Hughes. He was moving. Didn't think it was that short. 8 off 9 deliveries now, Philip Hughes. Coulter-Nile went for a boundary in his first over, but only 2 runs since. And you'd have a slip in place to Klinger, the right-hander, just trying to shape the ball away.
Oh, that hurts. You can see he's just bent over a little bit. Went for 4, but then bounced back pretty well. 3 overs gone, none for 18. None for 18. 163 for the Strikers to win this game. They want Hoggy, the crowd.
What shirt's that you're wearing there, Bluey?
I don't know, mate. Might have been one of those games that I played against you, don't I? Australia versus Australia 8. Oh, full toss. Work to do. Get at the fielder. And we're hearing that Shaun Marsh, who made 57 today, is not out there, and he's reported hamstring soreness again. So let's hope that it's not. There's the 12th man, Hilton Cartwright. Not the first name. Don't see too many young Hiltons around.
Like $200 a night.
Well, you're staying in the ordinary room. 200. I reckon that's cheap. But yeah, that can't take a trick. Hamstrings.
But it's catching, isn't it, in the family? You know, Mitch Marsh is out and had a major operation on that hamstring just recently in Melbourne. Flew to Melbourne for that operation. He's out for a couple of months.
What about the old man, Jeff Marsh? I don't think he did a lot of torn muscles, did he?
Slower ball. Oh, scooped up the cover.
The old Swampy Marsh. I don't think he got out of first gear, so his hammies are in good nick.
Bradley Hogg, even though he's over 40, he's always been such a fit player, energetic in the field. We'll see the tongue come out a little bit later once he starts bowling.
Yeah, he spiked up for us, Brad Hogg, so we might get him to talk through a couple of his overs later on. Whipped away. Klinger coming back, gets there comfortably. Normally a pretty good judge of a single, Michael Klinger, or a two.
Yeah, that's a brilliant piece of running. He took off very, very quickly for that first one. He had two in mind from the word go, and the outfielder under a huge amount of pressure. Joe Manny is in the Scorchers squad, but he comes from South Australia, so a lot of the strikers in this side would have faced a lot of Manny.
Well, past the outside edge, I'm not sure whether Michael Klinger made that look like a good ball or would I've just held its line a tad, because he does get that angle in.
Well, it's the line of indecision for those in-swing bowlers who hit the seam and it just straightens a little bit. Bowlers like Mervyn Hughes, Jason Gillespie when he first started, you get trained for the ball coming in, and that one, it just straightens off and gets the outside edge.
Down the track. Is it going to carry to third man? No! Ooh, on the half volley. Michael Beer. Well, he gets the claps from his teammates, but Klinger survives. Number 24.
Good effort from Beer, charging in, never easy. Just don't know how far they're going to carry. Diving forward, which is also difficult. Wouldn't earmark him as one of the better fielders in the Scorchers outfit, but he's had a good crack at that.
Yeah, I think if someone a little bit more athletic might have dived forward, got the arms extended out a little bit more. There's the KFC bucketheads, the youngsters out there. Slower ball, swatted away to the onside.
Too short, and it's probably a little bit too slow for a slower ball. It's 25 k's slower than his stock delivery. And Klinger, who's been tested by some short rising balls outside off stump on that occasion, having no problem putting that away.
Yeah, I think he's better off sticking with his cricket deliveries. They are really flying through when he's bending his back, called Niall.
Yeah, that's a good comeback.
I don't think he needs to change his pace too much. I think there's enough there for him. It's quick, it's bouncy, he's bowling over 140 k's. I think his variance should just be in his length, the line of off stump and then just the odd effort ball off a length.
And the other thing, he's using a relatively new ball, so he's going to get a little bit of movement in the air or off the seam, so that's his variation. I think the slower ball comes into play more towards the back end of the innings, or if the batsman's established.
Oh, that's gone over the slips and one bounce over the rope. Trying to whip that through the onside, so you have to feel for the bowler there.
If he meant it, it was a good shot. There's not going to be a fielder there, but we saw a previous pull shot from Hughes that wasn't that short off Coulter-Nile. This time he gets a leading edge. Now, he was in no position to hit that through the leg side.
Well, we've heard that Hughes has really developed his leg side game, but that's just taking it to the extreme, isn't it?
Well, that's been spanked as well, so Hughes, that's his best shot so far.
Well, I've heard a little rumour that he's not as strong through that point region as well because he's improved his leg side play. Well, I think that shot there says no. He loves him through that point area. He's in such a good position and I like the swing of the bat at the end.
Bit of an arch of the back, got the hips through the ball, didn't he there, Philip Hughes? Short. Another single.
Well, that short ball just coming on to Hughes a little bit quicker than he was expecting. Hit the deck hard, Coulter-Nile, and it really hurried Hughes up.
Do you reckon we'll see a fair few of those shots when he opens up against Sri Lanka in the next test match down in Hobart?
If they bowl halfway down, they'll have a good crack at it.
Oh, that's a good ball. Swung late. None for 39. None for 39, so good start here for the Strikers in their run chase. The crowd will want to see a couple of wickets. Klinger 19 from 15, Hughes 20 from 15. So very similar starts to their innings. Here's Many. Leading edge and out, is it? Yes. Well, a little bit of a fumble. And Mike Hussey just teased him a bit.
Oh, Mr. Cricket, he's one of the greatest fieldsmen that produced in Australia, and he's taken so many blinding catches at gully throughout his career. But on that occasion, I'll tell you what, if he put it down after that first grab, never forgiven himself. Another leading edge from a Strikers batsman. Just didn't time his jump that well. But the second grab, Mr. Cricket, he's relieved. Probably a little bit more than the bowler. Well bowled from Joe Manning.
There he goes now, 19, and it's 1 for 39. Michael Klinger has just been dismissed, and Callum Ferguson batting at number 3 for the Strikers. 27 matches. Strike rate, or just about everyone's over 100. Best score of 58, so he should improve on that this season, batting at number 3. So they needed that. Joe Many had a reasonable Champions League for the Scorchers over in South Africa. 5 wickets at 14, economy rate of 6. So playing against his teammates, plays for the Redbacks. Oh, that's a good start for Ferguson. He is off the mark. First ball with a boundary.
It's always nice to find the middle of the bat when you first walk out. Ferguson on the back foot. Not only finding the middle of the bat, but finding the gap through the offside. Played it beautifully. Played it late and just placed it.
Are you always nervous first ball, but when it flies off the bat like that, you're thinking, this could be my night tonight. Playing it down, dissecting the field. Strike rate of 400.
It's a short one. Is it a legal delivery? Yes, it is.
I like that. It's a good comeback from Joe Menny. It's done the unpredictable. A lot of batsmen this day and age just don't expect the bounce because they're worried about the wide. Dug this in. It was pretty high, touch and go. But, I don't mind that. The umpire's letting that one go.
Past the outside edge, had a bit of a waft at that one, and just a little bit of shape there for Menny. It was wide. Let's go down to Nerily Meadows for an update on Shaun Marsh.
Yeah, Shaun Marsh isn't out there at the moment. It's Hilton Cartwright, the 12th man. I've just been told by the Scorchers that it's a minor hamstring strain that Marsh picked up while batting this evening. He's been kept off as a precaution, but he is in some doubt for the Stars match later this week. They won't tell us what hammy it is.
Cheers, Nerily. Well, it's 50-50.
I'll go the left.
I'll go right.
Yeah, but does it really matter? If hammy's a hammy, whether it's left or right, it's a problem. And generally a low-grade hamstring can cost 10 days.
And with the history as well, isn't it? So he's had some bad ones over the last couple of years, so they'll naturally want to be take all the precautions to make sure that he's available for the majority of the Big Bash.
You also got a question, what are they doing at training? You know, there's a couple of hamstrings now from the Scorchers, both Marsh brothers.
Cut away again, and it was knocked down by Herschel Gibbs. 1 for 43.
So the power play, only two fielders out here. Michael Beer opened the bowling, and in the first over, Klinger got him over mid-wicket, and we just see from a lot of leg side play from Hughes and Klinger. That one was almost a catch down to Michael Beer. Slower ball put away beautifully from Klinger. Probably not so good from Hughes, but that one, a classic Philip Hughes shot through point. And Mike Hussey, a couple of grabs of the ball for a catch. And Callum Ferguson, that was the first delivery he faced tonight, smashing it through point for 4.
Yeah, the strikers wagon wheel there, showing generally square of the wicket with the boundaries. Reardon to come in next. Both are at number 5. Then Geropoulos makes up the top 6. He's back on the bowl.
Interesting to see if Simon Kadich, the captain of the Scorchers, reverts to slow bowlers from both ends. Bradley Hogg also in his bowling stocks. Guarantee the crowd will go off here as soon as he gets the ball in hand. A very popular former player. He's done very, very well in his comeback trail. Played for Australia, played in the World Cup. Was very instrumental in the Scorchers' season last year. Could be quite a smart move, getting the spinners going at it, because it worked for the strikers.
There's a wide one, and Ferguson just pick up a single. Might have been disappointed not to get more than that, because it was a really loose delivery. Sweeps, tries to catch it, but it's in the gap. Got to him a bit quicker than he thought, I think, Adam Voges.
He's a cool customer though, Voges. Thought he played very well tonight, particularly when Marsh was flying. He just rotated the strike, and then once Marsh had been dismissed, he took over in the field. He moves very well, got a good arm.
Oh, there's that delivery from Michael Beer. He just swings it back into the right-hander. Here it is. See how it comes out. Yeah, it's just the arm ball.
All finger spinners have got to have the arm ball. Just see that, not just like bowling an outswinger or in-swinger to the right-hand batsman. Something that Mitchell Stark did very well in the Perth Test.
Oh, off the stumps.
Run out!
It's neck and neck. Scorchers 2 for 42, 1 for 47 the Strikers.
One!
Should just be the one. You heard one from Triffett, and it is to finish off that over. Good one too, 5 off it, 1 for 48. And the pulse question, can the Strikers chase down 163? Yes, they can. And you can vote on the website. There it is, foxsports.com.au/cricket, or download the Fox app. There's Hoggy. He's coming on the bowl. There he is.
Yep, the crowd are on their feet and cheering because Bradley Hogg is into the attack. And I think there's a few chants going up in the crowd. So a good move by Simon Kadich. Get the crowd behind the team and get them behind Bradley Hogg. Need to take another wicket here. They've got spin operating at both ends. We've got him mic'd up too, boys, so I reckon we'll just give him a ball or two just to settle in, and then we'll just see what tricks he's got up his sleeve. Excellent, excellent Big Bash career. 21 wickets, average of 14.5. Economy's very good. Best 3 for 19. Wouldn't he dearly love to get 3 tonight?
Yeah, I think we've just handed over to him. Moods, don't you think? Talk us through his over, what he's trying to do.
I reckon give him a couple of balls since he's settling. Here he goes. Swept away, and that'll run away for 4. So the first ball just pushed down the leg side.
Yeah, he's been pretty keen to sweep the spinners, Phillip Hughes. And Bradley Hogg, first delivery, a little bit of a loosener. Just angling down, and Hughes in the end just helping it on its way for 4.
Not the ideal start. Get that line on off stump, turning away. Oh, the wrong one. Hughes not picking it.
Good running, good running!
Turning a long way and bounce as well. Good signs for Hogg there with the Fox tracker. Turn last year, the Chinaman, the one that goes straight on, and the Googly.
Pulled away just wide of short mid-wicket, and that's going to run away for another boundary. It's a short boundary on the leg side out towards the scoreboard.
Yeah, just a little bit short, and he was all over that, wasn't he, Phillip Hughes? So it's been a good start to this over for him. It's what you want to do against a new bowler. Put them under pressure straight away. Just beat them out at mid-wicket.
A little bit slower. He's not middling that. Still there's bounce there, which he'll enjoy. Just got to get that line right.
Well, Hughes has been quick to unsettle him, hasn't he? He hasn't let Hogg get too many dot balls there, and maybe Hoggy just needs to get a little bit fuller to encourage the drive. Ferguson hasn't faced a ball from Hogg yet, so let's see what he comes up with.
Yeah, I reckon we might see the googly first ball.
I think you're right. There it is, but swept away and swept away firmly, finding the deep mid-wicket fielder. One ball left in this over, 10 coming from it so far. Required run rate, 8.63, so it's up there. They need to keep control of that, the Strikers. Dot ball to finish. So 10 from Hogg's first over, 8 gone. It's 1:58. So just a quick drink. Over, and it's 1:58 after 8 overs. So the Strikers will be happy with this start. But, they'll be very keen for one of these two, whether it be Hughes or Ferguson, to bat through the innings. Klinger went for 19. Juggled catch by Mike Hussey, a leading edge, caught at point. Reardon, Botha and Geropoulos yet to come. Ben Edmondson back into the attack. He took a lot of wickets last season, Ben Edmondson. He's effective and generally bowls towards the end of the innings as well. They tend to go to him to try to finish the job off.
14 wickets at 21. So he was one of the main reasons the Scorchers got into the final. Took a lot of wickets here at the Wacker.
Inside edge, quick single. He takes wickets, doesn't he? He's a strike bowler, but he can be expensive.
Yeah, it goes, I think last year BBL went about 8.5 runs per over, so yeah, it is expensive. And if you want to follow Fox Sports Cricket on social media, go to those sites there, especially on Twitter if you want to hashtag BBL02 or at Fox_cricket.
Oh, that's paddled around the corner for 4. Edmondson getting his line down the leg side and Hughes helping himself.
Too easy to put away Phillip Hughes, who's shown an inclination to just collapse that back leg a little bit and help it on its way. And that is the perfect position for Phillip Hughes to virtually sweep down the fine leg for 4.
We're talking about Edmondson, about him being expensive, but surely you'd like to have a bowler in your side that strikes like he does. Oh, and very nearly strikes there with an inside edge.
I reckon he'd be one of those bowlers that's hard to start against. So I reckon through his career at the deck, he's taken 2 or 3 wickets in one over. You know, rips opens games, so you just can't count him out.
Get back into games when you're up against it, and that's to take wickets. Strong on the leg side, plenty of runs through that leg side, square the wicket and down to fine leg. 11 and 12 in total. Pulled away and out. So there it is, Edmondson, the striker for the Scorchers, takes the all-important wicket of Callum Ferguson.
Yeah, Callum Ferguson just chancing his arm there. You could see the way he cleared his front leg that he wanted to go over the onside. And maybe with a bit of extra bounce here, just caught high on the bat, but yeah, just didn't hit it properly, and a safe pair of hands there to Adam Voges. So the number 3 batsman goes, and this score's quite level. 2 for 60, the strikers 2 for 64. Ferguson gone for 8.
So 2 down for 64. New batsman Nathan Reardon. 34 matches. Reasonably good strike rate at just 119. Very keen to partner up Phillip Hughes. Form a partnership. Other left-hander at the crease, so 2 lefties. I wonder if that's going to prompt any change of bowling from Simon Kadich, the Scorchers captain. At the moment, the man on screen, Ben Edmondson's done a good job. He's got a wicket. Not for a couple of boundaries, but he's done the job by taking the wicket. Dot ball to finish. Successful over by Ben Edmondson. It's 2 for 64. All right, we got Brad Hogg on the mic. Hoggy, how's it going out there?
Good, mate, good. Just hang on tight.
And get Reardon on, okay? Play the percentages here.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, getting a few tips there, Hoggy, from the skipper.
Yeah, mate, just hang on. Sorry, Tom. You want me to slow it up here? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll just... Yeah.
So you can let us in on a bit of insight there, Hoggy?
Yeah, I was just probably a little bit too quick to the young fella here, Hughes. Tell you what, he's improved, Tom.
Yeah, just slow the pace up, mate. That's what we reckon up here.
You're not allowed to give me any tips, but good selection for the test team. He has improved.
Hoggy, how are you going with the crowd support there? It's like Dennis Illy bowling a 1975 Test match.
Yeah, it is a little bit there, mate. It's just not as quick as DK, but no, it's great. The public have come out, and we've always got good crowds. So hopefully we get a win tonight to get the support right behind us for the rest of the tournament.
Well, just a little bit short on that occasion, and Hughes, he's so good in that area. Jesus. Just a bit short there. Hoggy, just talk us through what you're trying to do for the rest of the over, maybe, Hoggy.
Rubbish. I'm just trying to get Hughes off strike here, and I'm doing a bloody good job of it.
Well, there you go. Hoggy's off strike, so Reardon's first up. Do you reckon he's going to pick that wrong one of yours?
I don't know. I'm going to test him first up.
Beautiful. So we've got a wrong one coming up for Reardon. I don't reckon he'll pick it. There's not too many people in Australia pick Hoggy's wrong one.
Leg side player.
Around the world.
He is a leg
He's
side
still a
player.
factor in the T20 World Cup in Sri Lanka.
Where are we going to bring him from? That's
Well, it has to be probably 45.
Yeah. Does he sweep? Oh, leave it there for now. It's not turn. 2 to come, blocker. 3, thanks, man. Sorry, guys. Yes, mate, sorry.
Yeah, Bradley, just the line of that wrong and not quite right, eh?
Yes, just gave him a bit of room on the leg side.
That looked like a very ordinary shout, Hoggy. I reckon he was a foot outside the line of off there.
Let's have a look at that.
Very close, mate.
One! Yes, coach.
The 9 from Bradley Hogg's second over. Thanks, Bradley, for your time.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
10 overs gone. It's 2 for 73.
They played a little bit of cricket together, didn't they? Blocker Wilson and Bradley Hogg. The good decision from Paul Wilson, the umpire. Hoggy, plenty of energy. Look at him go.
Beer to continue. Works a leg by Hughes. Hughes moves on to 46. So it's been a good innings by Philip Hughes, just off 31 deliveries. And hard to bowl to.
He's going well. Seen new top order players start well this year. Aaron Finch the other night was brilliant. Oh, there's a sloppy misfield there. Who's that? Trying to figure out who that is. Ben Edmondson. Yeah, bit of an apology there.
Everyone needs to be supporting their teammates and providing some pressure if you're fielding in that circle. Quite happened on that occasion.
Edged and number 1 away for 4. So not quite Bradley Hogg, I tell you what. Charged that ball down, so a good save.
Yeah, don't you be having a crack at the Hoggy. He is the crowd favourite tonight. Still quick in the field. Handy runs though, Reardon 5 or 4.
And getting off strike. And getting the strike onto Hughes. So doing the right thing. And the batsman that's established at the crease on strike.
if he can fill a role like Bo just did for the Scorchers while Marsh was going flying like Philip Hughes, a good job.
Putting Ben Edmondson under pressure again, just around the corner there. So one ball to go in this beer over. Worked for a comfortable 1 to mid-on. So 7 from it, 11 gone, it's 2 for 80. So we're neck to neck here. Scorchers at this stage are 2 for 83, Strikers are 2 for 80, so it's a close contest, really is. The feeling though the Scorchers probably feel the Strikers have got their nose in front.
We know it can change so quickly though in the Big Bash. We saw it last year and see some highlights of the last 5 overs. We'll see a lot of Philip Hughes possibly hitting to the leg side, 2 of them finding the boundary, and that one a loose delivery from Edo. Letting it go. Callum Ferguson trying to take on Edmondson, only finding a fieldsman, and he was on his way. And Hogg to continue.
It's too short a game from Bradley Hogg, and Reardon set off quickly for 2, so another good bit of running between the wickets.
He's not helping the bowlers either, Philip Hughes, because he's so quick to get on the back foot and hit the square of the wicket on both sides. But you've just got to be able to try and make him drive on the up, through the offside.
Has he got enough of this? He has. Swept away for 6. The first for Hughes.
Well, that's his 50. Philip Hughes brings it up with a 6. Just 35 deliveries, so his good form continues going into the test match down there in Hobart. 7 fours, 1 6.
I still think that was a better length from Bradley Hogg, and Hughes took the risk, but he was up to it. And he's hit it very well.
Yeah, there is risk in playing that sweep slog because the extra bounce here at the Wacker. See a lot of players getting that top edge that from that bounce when they try to play a cross-bat shot. So I think Brad Hogg would be disappointed it's gone for 6, but he also knows that he's in the game. There's a chance of taking a wicket. Quicker delivery. Going to be one though, doesn't beat Michael Beer there at 45.
Tough getting drop balls into Philip Hughes and building pressure on him. He's just hitting boundaries or he's getting down the other end. Hoggie's still enjoying himself though. You'll feel he's just one ball away from a big breakthrough.
So worked nicely by Reardon, getting off strike once again.
Doesn't get much tighter than what it is at the moment. 2 for 89 plays 2 for 90. So we are set for a great finish, you feel.
Yeah, just feel that a wicket suddenly would change the momentum. At the moment, I sense they've got control of the Strikers. At the end of the 12th over, it's 2 for 91.
Philip Hughes, have a look at some of his highlights of his 50. He got off the mark with a nice clip off his toes. That was a bit streaky. Going to go on the onside, and then a vicious cut. We know he's strong. That cut shot. A couple of boundaries against Brad Hogg. Hogg for 3 fours and a 6. That was to bring up his 50. So you see that he's been improving his leg side play. Let's have a look at where he scored most of his runs tonight in his 56. A lot on that leg side.
So Michael Beer from the Lily Marsh end, he's got 1 over left in his spell. Hughes dancing down the wicket and sweeping it away into the gap. What a shot.
Could have been his best shot of the night because he was so much more controlled. That was a very confident sweep shot, and it flew across the turf. Yeah, flying up a little bit, but he come down the pitch. Turn's not a problem. Well struck.
Oh, it's loose down the leg side, but it's punished for 4 more.
He's seriously in the bowler's heads now. They're not sure where to bowl to try and dot him up at all.
Well, I'm not sure whether Beer thought he was coming down the track again. He came down the ball before and he just double-guessed himself, maybe. Took that big stride forward. He might have thought he was coming down and just speared it in, but he's up to the challenge, Phillip Hughes. They've got to get him now.
We talk about one wicket changing it very quickly, but one big over from the batting perspective can also swing it very quickly. Strikers will be very pleased that 9 has gone in the first 3 balls. Very good strike rate from Hughes, 66 off 41.
I've liked the way that Reardon has gone about it in the past. We've seen him premeditate, play some big shots at bad times, but he's doing a good job tonight.
And looking for 2. Not going to get there. So Tom Trifford behind the stumps there yelling, come on lads, 1 wicket, that's all we need. Pretty much right. 1, even a couple, turns very quickly. Smart cricket.
Got him.
Looking for 2. Not going to get it. So 11 from the over, 13 gone. It's 2 for 102.
Well, the Big Bash continues on Wednesday. Again, the Perth Scorchers are in action, and they're going to be up against the Melbourne Stars, who went down in their first game. So Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, back here at the Wacker. And you mentioned, Moods, about, just a wicket changing things, and I'm sure nothing's changed from when we played, but you always, if there was a bit of a partnership in whatever form of the game, you always think they might add 2 for 10 or 2 for 15 onto the score, and so just give yourself a little bit of hope that if you do get a couple of wickets, what would the equation be then? And I'm sure that's probably what the Scorchers are thinking now. 2 for 102, but all of a sudden it changes to 4 for 115, 120.
Joe Manny back on. Change of pace straight away. He's picked up 1 wicket tonight.
And I think Simon Caddis, that's what he's got to do, is just rotate his bowlers, try to get that breakthrough. Don't be predictable. He can bowl himself and over. He's bowling the left-arm Chinamans. Why not? May get one past the bat or one slogged out in the outfield. Just never know. They've got to take a wicket, so he's got to change his bowling, keep the batsman guessing.
Had a good start to his first-class career, Joe Manny. 35 wickets in just 9 Shield games, moving across from New South Wales to South Australia. Only 23 years of age. Tall, fast bowler, very promising. Got a very quick arm action, hasn't he? Gets through the crease quickly.
He was picked up by the Scorchers last season after he took a big wicket haul in a Shield game here at the Wacker. And there was a vacancy in the Scorchers attack, and they were looking for a bowler, and they were really impressed the way he bowled here. So that's how his opportunity came about. He wasn't looked at by the Strikers, so a big pickup, a good pickup by the Scorchers.
Moves around again, Phillip Hughes. And they'll get an easy too. So it does put you off when you're bowling and the batsman's moving around. A fantastic knock so far.
Let's check out the comparison again. And even though Phillip Hughes has had a good couple of overs, it's still, look at that, 2 for 106 playing 2 for 105. So that's the other thing. I mean, a couple of good overs, even if they don't take a wicket or two, you still need 8 runs and over, nearly 9.
Another slow ball. So changing it up his speeds. No boundary so far off this over.
I think if Phillip uses the wicket that goes too, that really does swing it in the Scorchers' favour. So Reardon's been out there and he's done a steady job, but he's certainly not established in finding the boundaries or anything. He uses the wicket that the Scorchers desperately need to really take an upper hand in this contest.
Another slow ball nicely played from Reardon. Read it out of the hand. A little sloppy. Nathan Reardon wasn't watching there. Phillip Hughes, sorry.
Well, the fielder got the stare down too from the skipper, Simon Kadich. Had the eyes. There's that slow ball. Bit of top spin on that. Fielder coming in, and it's Beer. Yeah, didn't like the throw, and then Simon Kadich gave him the big stare once he picks the ball up.
You don't want to stare from Simon Kadich. Slow ball bouncer. So pretty tidy over there from Annie after 14. Scorchers 2 for 109.
A victory to this opening game. And the KFC get back.
Neck and neck at the moment. Michael Klinger 19 off 16. Phillip Hughes 72 off 46. Ferguson out for 8 and Reardon 10. So very close. The Scorchers 2 for 108 in their innings and the Strikers 2 for 109. So it's well and truly in the balance at the moment. And Simon Kadich, the Scorchers captain, just ringing the changes at the moment.
So Hoggy's going to change around. Bowled his previous couple of overs from Printable stand end, and he's going to bowl from the Lily Marsh stand end. See if he's got something better, because he's been expensive tonight, Hoggy. It's his figures 3 overs, none for 30, so going at 10.
Yeah, he'd be keen to have an impact because he was clearly, you know, an important cog in the wheel of Scorchers' success last year. Been expensive. We won't talk to him because we won't throw him off this last over. Scorchers need a wicket.
And Hughes again using his feet through the leg side, and a great dive and save by Coulter-Nile. And we're talking about how good an all-rounder he is. Geez, he moves well in the field.
Yeah, Tom Moody was saying earlier how he's handy with the bat. We know what he can do with the ball, but yeah, you don't see too many fast bowlers who are so good in the field, and his athleticism is brilliant.
That's high, hasn't got it that well, and a diving catch in the end. I don't know about that, but Adam Boges, we've talked about how cool he is under pressure, and another sign of that. And the crowd have been cheering, Hoggy, 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 and they've finally seen their favourite player get a wicket.
Big wicket. Phillip Hughes batted superbly well for his 74, but Bradley Holt brought back into the attack from the Lily Marsh end, just tossed it up slowly, got his length right. Hughes went to hit him for 6 and got underneath it with a top edge, and Adam Boges has got a good set of hands. Quite judge it perfectly, but taking a good catch. Hughes has got to go for 74 off 48. It's 3 for 111.
Well, Phil, you're certainly playing with plenty of confidence out there. Is that what it felt like?
Yeah, definitely confident high, but hope the boys can finish off here. We need around 50 odd to go, so hopefully the boys can finish off.
You were doing so well. The wicket falls at a difficult time. Do you think you're in a winning position?
Yeah, the wicket always put you back probably 5 runs, so it was disappointing to get out then, but it would have been nice to take it home, but hopefully the boys down the middle order can do the job.
Well, good luck for the boys.
Thank you.
Phillip Hughes played a very good knock, and But for the Scorchers, they were really pushing for a wicket. They finally got one, and it was Bradley Hogg. He's got 1 for 32 now. He's got 4 deliveries left. Oh, great wrong one. Nathan Reardon did not pick that one at all.
Yep, spot on there, Flemo. Had no idea about that. Let's have a look. Good spin from at the back of the hand, as you can see. He was looking to cut that or just run it down to short third man.
Is it worth another one? Oh, he's in the air. Good little punch from Reardon. It was the stock Chinaman.
So the new batter for the Strikers, Theo Geropoulos. Both who was listed to come in next, but they've thrown Theo Geropoulos in there. He was very good in the field tonight, Theo. He was expensive in the over that he bowled. So he gets his opportunity against Brad Hogg. Going to put a slip in.
And he's got a question to ask himself. Watch it all the way out of their hands. Is it the one coming in or the one going away? It's the one away, and he watched it very well. But another dot ball for Bradley Hogg.
That's a game-changing over. This only gone for 3, and he's taken the wicket, and the big wicket of Hughes. So good decision by Simon Kadich. Would have been a challenging decision because he was going at 10 and over before this over.
Oh, that's close. Not sure if it was hitting off stump. A not out call, but a fantastic over from Brad Hogg. He got the breakthrough after 15, 3 for 112.
Yeah, it was a good comeback there from Bradley Hogg. Big shout, but just not doing enough. Hitting him outside the line and not going on to hit the stumps. Didn't look great. Big appeal. Look at Hoggy just disappearing to the right of screen. Just not coming back enough. But he worried him there. Bowled the wrong one first and then bowled the leg spinner. So Theo Geropoulos just surviving.
Just shows again, Hoots, as we see Hoggy saluting the crowd. They're chanting him all the way through. Those spinners that have got the ability to turn the ball both ways, they're genuine wicket takers in the Big Bash. Changing his pace a lot, and isn't it? It's almost like he's stopped 130k deliveries, his changer.
He's bowled very well. He's only gone for 17 off his 3.1 overs, so that's a very good return. Economy return. He's taken a wicket. He got the early breakthrough. Got Michael Klinger out with a leading edge that was caught by Mike Hussey. So, he's done a good job. He'd dearly like to finish off his spell well, but more importantly, back up what was a very good over from Brad Hogg. So if Scorchers can get back-to-back overs, build pressure, he can sneak another wicket. They're a long way closer to being home than what they were a couple of overs ago.
Conversely, with Reardon and Geropoulos, they're known boundary hitters. And they can hit a few in one over, so it's just so evenly poised at the moment.
Have a look at Philip Hughes going. You can see he was looking towards the onside. He knew straight away. Just turned a little bit. Forced the mistake. Almost misjudged it, Bogus, but once he got his hands on it, he's never going to let it go.
Advances Reardon, hits it high and long. That is out of here. Car park.
It's gone to the car park. Tell you what, I'm parked out there somewhere too, so it's probably cleaned up my car. That is a huge hit. Aimed a slower ball out of the back of the hand, and help yourself, Nathan Reardon. 99 metres.
Well, those Lamborghinis aren't easy or cheap to repair, Moods, either.
Yeah, rightio, mate. Do you really think I could fit in a Lamborghini?
What a hit from Reardon. That's what he's capable of. We've seen in a Ryobi game during the season, made a brilliant 71 down there to get his side home, which was the Queensland Bulls, but he's a good striker when he gets going.
Oh, that's just so clean, isn't it? He's taken his time to get going and rotated the strike for Hughes. He's made up his mind. That was in his zone. Out of the ground. What can many do now? Goes that Yorker length. It's well hit. And good running between the wickets. Another two.
This is why 2020 cricket is so good. It can change so quickly. We were only talking a couple of overs ago how the Scorchers needed a good over. They got that from Bradley Hogg. They got the wicket, and all of a sudden, the equation, they were about 9-10 runs in front. Now, Reed's bounced back with a huge 6 over mid-on, so again, in the space of 2 overs, it's fluctuated, and now back on level team.
Still needing 9.5 and over, so it's still a long way away.
Oh, that's the beam ball, and that's a no ball.
And a free hit. So it used to be just for the front foot no ball, but they've changed that this year. If it's above the waist height. And so Nathan Reid gets a free hit at this next delivery.
Now that is costly. That's a nasty delivery, but that is costly. Look at that, that's head high, and the way he hit that 6 a couple of balls ago, so many could find himself back in the car park.
Free hit time. Well bowled in the block hole. So it hasn't hurt them too badly, the Scorchers, that no ball. Saw Scott Storris early on today. First ball and a big bash. Beam ball.
It's obviously slipped. He's bowled with great control, great variation throughout his spell, and he's bowled well. Can't take that away from him. It's over, has gone for 12, but he's bowling his last ball. Both sides neck to neck. At this stage, both were 3 for 124.
As you imagine, with the game being so tight, Simon Kadich is just trying to manipulate his fields and negate those boundaries. Always looks pretty cool under pressure, Simon Kadich. Generally nothing too much more than a stare if one of his players doesn't do the right thing. 1 ball to go of many spell. 1 for 28 so far. Dropoulos gets a single to retain the stride after 16. It's getting tight, 3 for 125.
6 minutes down.
Let's check out the highlights from the last 5 overs, and Philip Hughes will be a big part of those 5 overs. That was that 6 previous delivery to bring up his 50, and then he got into Michael Beer as well. And then Hogg back into the attack, and he went to go after him again. He got the breakthrough, did Brad Hogg. And then a massive 6. Got to be the biggest of the night. That was sweet as you like from Nathan Reid. So that's where we're at. Philip Hughes was good, 74 from 48, but that was the big breakthrough for the Scorchers. Now it's up to Reid and Dropoulos to try and get the strikers home, but it is neck and neck. Scorchers at the same stage, 3 for 128. So 3 runs in it with 4 overs to go.
Philip Hughes keeping the pads on. He doesn't want to go down to the dressing room, supporting his team. So the strikers need 38 off 24 balls, 7 wickets in hand. Kadich working with his bowlers. Nathan Coulter-Nile now gets the opportunity to bowl. He's only bowled the 2 overs for 21 runs. So can the strikers chase down 163? It's evening up a bit now. 42% yes, 58 no. Ball struck from Dropoulos. Good test of the nerves and the skills under pressure now.
It's going to be interesting to see who Simon Kadich is going to lean to bowl these last few overs. Coulter-Nile, I think, will probably bowl 2 of them. Nip and tuck, isn't it? I think you'll find that swing over the next couple of overs.
Look at They'll change ball by ball.
So Coulton Isle that started this over with 2 overs to go, and then Edmondson with 2 to go as well. So it looks like those are going to be his go-to men.
It can be a concern because you've got 2 bowlers responsible for 12 balls.
Oh, geez, that's quick. Shorter ball. There's an appeal from Coulton Isle. And that's a dot ball.
And I say it can be a risk because if one of the bowlers goes in their first over, it's very hard for him right at the back end of the innings to bounce back after, you know, bleeding a big over. I wonder who his third option is if that's the case.
Only really got slower men. Kadich, Voges.
He hits to leg, Reardon. Good fielding down there, a fine leg.
I suppose the other one too is Mike Hussey, but gee, you'd be risking it big time to bring Michael Hussey on at this stage.
I'd go Adam Voges out of the slow men. Being pulled tonight with the bat and taking catches. Mr. Cricket didn't get amongst the runs today. Be looking to get a fair few against Sri Lanka. The series against them, 3 tests. Australians are off to India February, March, and then the Ashes. Can't wait to watch that. Oh, well bowled. That's a good skill if you can do it. Years ago, you always attack the stumps, but generally batsmen are trying to hit through the leg side. Good execution.
You're right. Years ago, you used to attack the base of, you know, middle stump or middle and leg, but now a lot of players, when you do attack that line, get that little paddle sweep out, or the Dill scoop we've seen. You know, Dilshan, Tilakrat and Dilshan, who's, you know, currently in Hobart preparing for Test. Well, he was the first to really do that scoop over the keeper's head. So it's, I think the bowlers have to think again and, you know, vary that line of that Yorker. Some wide of off stump, some narrowed in on leg stump, because your leg side field is exposed with fine leg up.
Oh, full toss hit, 6, massive, and a field catch dropped. Wow, Nathan Reardon has played a couple of unbelievable shots tonight.
Well, again, just showing the fluctuation in this game, because it was a great over up until then. Just 3 off at the 4 deliveries, then he just misses his spot. Full toss, but to get the power on that at that pace, it was 140 Ks. It's good hitting.
Nearly goes again. Leg by. So good over from Coulton Isle. Besides that full toss, after 17 overs, strikers are 3 for 135. So very tight at the moment. Scorchers were 4 for 139. The strikers 3 for 135. Reardon 27 off 21. Dropoulos 4 off 6 balls. What's Simon Kadich going to do with his attack? Ben Edmondson, 2 overs to go. We know how many wickets he does get, but he does go for runs.
And I reckon the strikers will target this over. They want to really have a good dip at this over, have a big over, so they bring that run rate right down into a controllable level. So Edmondson under huge pressure here.
Reardon on strike. He's hit 2 massive 6s. And a nick behind, doesn't carry, and Trifford misses the ball, and it's 4 runs.
Well, firstly, how didn't it carry? It must have come off the toe of the bat. I just can't believe it didn't carry. And then, for it to go through the keeper's legs, it was come off, yeah, off the toe, and it died.
Never easy for the keeper, but Trifford just getting up in his stance a little bit early, and found it difficult to come down and pick it up. It wasn't a catch, but what it was 4 runs that Ben Edmondson didn't need off the first ball of his over.
Oh, he goes again. Nathan Reardon, his third 6.
Can he hit a ball, this bloke? Slower ball from Edmondson, and that is a serious strike with the cricket ball.
Just the sound off the bat was absolutely perfect. Crunch. What a swing through that. It's like he's at the golf driving range, teeing up the Titleist and putting it out of the park.
Another slow ball as well. I think I'd be just bowling as fast as I could in the block hole to Nathan Reardon. He's got such a sweet swing of the bat. Simon Kadich knows straight away, doesn't he? They won't be seeing that ball for a long time.
Well, 98 metres, but some good hang time as well. That was just clean as a whistle. So, great little innings here from Nathan Reardon now. 37 off 23. 18 off 16. So, the Strikers definite favourites now after those first 2 deliveries. One that shouldn't have probably gone for 4. An edge that went through the keeper's legs, and then a huge 6.
Full toss. 4. So he is taking the game away from the Scorchers, Nathan Reardon. This over, he's gone 4-6-4.
As we thought, Reardon identifying this over as a key over to target Ben Edmondson. Edmondson under all the pressure going into this over. He had to get it absolutely right with Reardon on strike in this form. He's hit the ball beautifully here this evening. He's on 41 off 24, 3 towering 6s and 2 4s.
Well, these games can swing very quickly. Now the Strikers pass the comparison score of the Scorchers. Time for a big in-swinging Yorker from Edmondson. Not far off. Dropper's keen on the 2. Needs some wickets. We know he's a good Yorker bowler. Get it right in that block hole.
The partnership's gone to 39 off 21, and Dropper's contribution's been 4. Goes to show the impact that Reardon's had over the last 3 overs. So they've really taken the game on. They've made it difficult for the Scorchers to hold on.
Dropper has been very composed though. 4 singles, and now he likes hitting the ball hard. He doesn't need to do that at this stage. Gets enough on that for a boundary. Incredible shot.
Well, I was going to say, all he needs to do is get Reardon on strike. And I don't know whether that's what he was trying to do. It's a low full toss. Just backing away a tad. It's bottom hand at the last minute. He's just raced off that bat. He's absolutely smoked that, hasn't he? I thought it was a Yorker first up. It was a very, very low full toss, and it's come straight out of the centre of that bat of his and raced to the boundary. But where does he go now, Ben Edmondson?
19 off the over so far. Better say that was the best ball off the over. The last one, after 18, it's 3 for 154.
Nathan Reardon has moved on to 42 off 25 deliveries, 2 4s and 3 6s. Just sit back and enjoy some of this strike.
Full toss went, and that went a long way. And a slow ball, off cutter. That's out of here. Some sweet timing from Nathan Reardon. Composed early in his knock, batting with Phillip Hughes. We see those red 6s all on the leg side, all going close to 100 metres. And what can the Scorchers do? They need plenty of wickets, and they need them quickly. They've got to get that man out on screen. Coulter-Nile coming around the wicket to cramp him up. Herschel Gibbs missed out tonight with the bat. Can he take a great catch? And it's in the air, and he's got him. Nathan Coulter-Nile coming around the wicket, shorter ball, and Reardon trying to pull the ball through the leg side, just pops it up for an easy catch.
Yeah, I think that was the easiest catch of the night, that one. It didn't exactly get to him overly quickly, but is there another little twist in this game? That was the man that was going to get the strikers home. Just looking to get it through the onside and just beating for pace more than anything. So Coulter-Nile getting the breakthrough, so 9 off 11, new batter in. The G played well, Reardon, 42 from 26.
A tough time to get out.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal, but hopefully that last over's put in a position where we can win. So 9 to go, fingers crossed.
Those boundaries from you, talk us through that. That was impressive stuff.
Yeah, I was lucky enough for him to bowl him in the slot I was looking for. So yeah, sometimes that happens, and fortunately enough, I got him in the middle.
It's got a little tighter, but you're still confident.
Yeah, like I said, not ideal me getting out just then, but we've still got plenty of batters in the shed and should be able to get home from here.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Nathan Reardon, fantastic knock tonight, getting a lot of applause from his teammates. Still a job to be done. 9 runs need off 11 balls. Others out in the middle. And he gets it down to fine leg, just a single.
Bit of glove on that one. He tried to paddle it around the corner. Again, just done for pace. He's got experience, Johan Bothert, so he'll be calm and understand what's required. There's no need to panic. They're in control. The last thing they need to do is start panicking and lose a wicket and put someone else under pressure that's got to come in.
Slip in place. Nathan Coulter-Nile, we've seen him bowl some handy deliveries tonight. Good pace and bounce off a length. Can he get another one? That'll stir the crowd up. We've said that the the strikers don't bat that deep. Playing a miss. The run through. Can he get it, Coulter-Nile? He misses from a couple of metres away, and they're going to go for 2. No. So, fair bit happening.
There was a lot happening. Coulter-Nile had the chance to run Giropoulos out. Not sure whether that was a plan or not from both, because he was off straight away.
Yeah, look, these are the things that are talked about pre-game. You know, in this situation, that's smart cricket. There was a 1 there. Giropoulos was obviously not, switched on to the fact that if he missed it, he had to run straight away. So some good thinking there from Bothert.
Tell you what, Coulter-Nile is charging in. Pull shot in the air just over mid-wicket. They get back for 2.
Particularly when there's a fast bowler by, the keeper's back a long way. So if the non-striker goes as soon as the ball has been released, and the batsman at the striker's end misses it, you're always going to make it as the non-striker down that end. It's near on impossible for the keeper.
See, that last delivery could have easily been chipped to mid-wicket too, couldn't it? It's a nervy little finish here.
Another pull shot. Get another 2. There's 2 men out in the deep. Both of the ex-South African captain just looks so composed under pressure, watching the ball all the way onto his bat.
And he's dealing with the extra pace of Coulter-Nile. He's prepared to play the horizontal bat shot. And played quite well. He got rushed on the very first one, but he's played it quite nicely, picked up a couple of 2s with it.
Look at Kane Richardson just getting stuck into those nails. Oh, he fit the whole hand in there.
Remember, you need a thumb to bat. Jeez. Oh, Coulter-Nile, they don't run for that one. So he picked up the vital wicket of Nathan Reardon after 19, 4 for 160. So 3 needed off 6 balls. Two experienced men for the Scorchers, Kadich and Voges, talking through how they can get through this. Edmondson, 19 off his last over. Can he get a couple through the defences of the Strikers batsmen? I think that youngster wants to see it. Are they the bails or the glasses?
I was going to say, he's got the bails off his head. But, yeah, wickets in hand for the Strikers. Do they just hit it to the field and run? I think they might as well.
Oh, they're going to go to the boundary. Simple as that. Just keep your head still, play proper cricket shot. You do that, there's plenty of gaps out there. Dropoulos does time the ball well. All the pressure's on Dropoulos here.
Brought in a ring field as well. Edmondson, dot ball. Pressure is building. 3 runs the Strikers need off 5 balls.
Get something on it, whether it's bat or your body, get something on it and run, I say.
He doesn't want to come in, does he? Richardson's sitting there thinking, please, no, just finish the job.
Well, he's 141 Ks that last delivery, Edmondson. Imagine if he gets a wicket, he might be putting up around 150. Dropoulos, what can he do? It's in the air, and it's over mid-off. Will it go before it does? So the match-winning hit was so close to being caught. Dropoulos gets him home in a thriller.
Oh, Dropoulos taking the gamble on going the boundary over the top mid-off. Not hitting it cleanly at all. A length ball, he muscled over mid-off. I think it was Brad Hogg there at mid-off, just couldn't rein it in. Simon Kadich disappointed, the Scorchers disappointed. They thought they were in the hunt here to beat the Strikers at a total of 162. As it turned out, it wasn't enough.
Yeah, they'll be very relieved, the Strikers. The last couple of overs, they were red-hot favourites, and it's just got a little bit tight there towards the end. And that one big over off Edmondson where Reid really got stuck into him, really changed the way this game panned out. And there's Philip Hughes, played so well tonight, and all the boys there, they see the 2 South Africans, Herschel Gibbs and Johan Botha, the umpires.
Yeah, thriller in the end. See the match summary here. The Scorchers, Voges and Shaun Marsh, both scored 50s. They were very attractive to watch as well. Putland, the best of the bowlers, 2 for 39. The spinners did well, Ajmal, Botha and Lyon. And for the Strikers, Philip Hughes, 74. Nathan Reardon, 3 massive sixes, 42. And Manny, Hogg, Coulter-Nowell and Edmondson all picking up a wicket. But the Adelaide Strikers home by 6 wickets.
Yeah, there's our man of the match tonight, KFC man of the match, Philip Hughes, for his terrific innings of 74 off 48. So very well played to him, and that just about wraps our coverage up. Hope you've enjoyed our double-header today. First it was the Hurricanes who won up in Brisbane, and it's been the Strikers over here in the West. It's good night from Perth.
This has been a Fox Sports production.